Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerd³ Podcats! Yay!
Yay!
Where our introductions are perfectly normal. Today on the show we have a very special guest, me!
Yay! Welcome, Dan. How are you doing?
Yeah!
What's your channel?
Episode... What?
What's your channel?
I don't have a channel. No. I'm not on that
you?
YouTube or that Twitter. Yeah. I'm just one of those people who floats around the internet not doing very much.
yeah, I'm not even going to speak.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks.
I appreciate
Anyway.
I'm also still here. I'm John from Many True Nerd. They haven't got rid of me yet.
Let's actually.
John!
We have. We have John from Many True Nerd, which.
Woo!
Fuck you.
Oh,
Basically.
John.
you made people. You made me feel so welcome.
I cut some of my hair off for you, John.
That's true. You did.
That's not even a joke.
It didn't sound like a joke because it wasn't funny. It was just true.
It was just weird and creepy.
Statement.
Like something out of a teenage paranormal romance novel.
John was like, "Oh, I wish I had a lock of your hair so I could take a picture for a joke." And I went, "Okay."
I was expecting to have to corner him in the toilet with a knife, but no, it was way easier than I was expecting.
Guys. Dun, 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 dun.
And
Anyway.
since you two have introduced him, I'm Matt. Hello.
It's Matt!
Yay!
I'm the PR man for Nerd³ because people keep complaining in these videos that no one introduces themselves.
That's true. Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm Nerd³ of Nerd³.
Really? Fuck.
And
wouldn't
John's
tell.
just a guy who can actually hold a conversation, so it's sort of necessary for a podcast.
He fucking really loves
He's
jerking off Fallout.
He's like the bread of the sandwich.
He's the bread.
Yeah,
He's the
nobody
bland
sort
bit.
of... Nobody super cares about the bread, but the bread is absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Oh.
So in that analogy,
I'm gonna take my loaf and go home.
Oh, sorry, I'm on a roll.
Oh, bread paste puns.
Ah, yes. Anyway. We're all going bread-based puns. Go on with the road puns.
I mean, John, you have a lot of cheese puns, don't you?
I have a lot of cheese puns. I don't really have much. I don't really have much bread puns to be ready.
bread
No, not
puns.
really. Sorry. Granary. Something to do with granary.
Yeast. We can work yeast into this.
Yeah,
Baked.
baguette.
Somebody can be baked. You know, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
but-
Pretty
yeah.
animal. You know, actually, that I was in London once. Well, that's the hot time.
There's better be a bread-related story.
Once I went all the way
No,
south.
no.
Hang on, didn't the Fire of London start in a bakery? Matt, what are you about to admit on this live stream?
No, I was in London once. It was outside Euston Station. The guy comes up and he says, "You got any change, mate?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Are you high, mate?" I go, "No, I'm not high." He goes, "Oh, you're high, mate. I don't take money from fucking druggies." And he stormed off.
That's never once happened to me. I think you must just look high.
You know what's hilarious about that story? It never happened. It was all a hallucination in Matt's head. He was off his face on LSD.
What's the baked? Get it?
He was just face down on a beach near the docks of Liverpool at the time.
He's just on the floor going, "Have some change, please." That's you. That's how dumb you
I'm not high, fuck you.
Oh, that's what I sound like. Thank you, John. I appreciate that.
Need puns. What on Twitch chat? You're on the ball here.
Need, yes, that's good.
Yes. Anyway,
John,
should we
I
get on with the
need
actual
you.
Thing?
Oh,
We
that's
need
lovely.
you.
Oh God. Yeah, we need John. We need John. Otherwise, you're just one of those people who eats meat out of the fridge. Just opens up a packet of ham. No one's ever actually opened up
Oh,
a
never
packet
do that
of
with
ham.
ham.
And
With
just eaten
chicken,
the
it's
meat.
okay.
Yeah,
With
like sliced
chicken.
chicken, that's kind of fine.
If you
but
have,
just
if you have a
slice
big
of
packet,
ham,
big
you know,
packet
it's
of like
moist.
char-grilled chicken breasts, that would be all right if you had some ketchup.
Ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup. Just get out some chicken. Yeah, char-grilled chicken breasts. Just dip them in some ketchup.
Can we just take an aside to discuss this? Ketchup.
Yes.
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup.
It's
Ketchup.
It's got an
ketchup.
E in.
Ketchup.
It's not
No,
ketchup.
not-
You're not saying ketchup. You're saying ketchup.
Stop bullying me because I'm from the Midlands. We pronounce things oddly.
I just want to point out that, like, Matt's, like, kind of further north, and I'm, like, further south. So, like, you
I'm
should
in the
actually be
middle.
somewhere between the two of us, not having your own special magic. It's not like, it's like, as you go up the UK, it's like ketchup. What? Doesn't
Funny
work.
thing is, right?
It's not
Like-
that bad. This is not like every time. The biggest danger of doing a lot of Fallout 4 is aluminium.
God, he's gone to Fallout.
My God, the Americans hate it when you say the word aluminium. They've got their own special. They've got their special magical element over there. Aluminum, the non-existent thing. They just keep misspelling and mispronouncing it.
In fairness, though, they can justify it by the fact they are all differently spelled words. Aluminum and aluminium are spelled slightly different, while ketchup and ketchup are the same word. It's like GIF and GIF. Prick.
I thought aluminum was the original pronunciation, and then we changed it.
I think it was.
No, aluminium is the actual element. Aluminum is just an accepted North American variant.
I thought that was the original one, but you're way smarter than us, so...
I know, I looked this up, because after you get several hundred comments complaining about how you pronounce aluminium, you learn your shit about aluminium.
And now you get comments about ketchup.
Just on this point, right, John.
Yes.
Tomato or tomato?
I interchange, the same as I will say both Bath and Bath, depending on what mood I'm in.
Depending on how close you are to Essex. So what changes, Bath or Bath? It's pronounced Bath where I come up. That's B-A-F.
Bath.
So hang on, you'd call it whatever sauce. If it's tomato sauce, you'd be tomato sauce or tomato sauce.
I'd probably say tomato ketchup, yeah.
Tomato ketchup just sounds like you're playing fucking Mario Kart, and there's the guy at the back's just driving a tomato.
It'd be pretty fucking depressing. It'd be pretty disappointing if you're at the back in Mario Kart and instead of getting a blue shell lightning bolt, you just get a tomato. budget cuts because the Wii U's not doing so well. Sorry lads, it's just tomatoes now.
We can't render blue shells anymore.
We shouldn't render blue shells. It's just a fucking tomato. Have fun.
Okay, anyway, speaking of video games...
Hey, video games.
Let's talk about... John, pick something to talk about.
Oh.
I know that you were mentioning earlier the GTA 5 business about $500 million.
$500 million they made through the microtransactions in GTA Online.
Which is... I think there's some really interesting stuff that's kind of good and bad about that figure.
I think it's all evil.
Well, no,
but the thing is, like, it's... The microtransactions in GTA 5 are, I will give them, they are not intrusive. I never felt like...
Wrong! Podcast.
Okay, as two people, as me and Dan have played a lot more GTA than you, and we can tell you, you're wrong. You are just wrong. You are wrong, John.
Okay, as a more casual GTA player, I've never felt
you're
they were
wrong!
intrusive.
GTA, like, if you're like, oh, I wish to purchase a car, what do I have to do? Eat Mount Everest using only a teaspoon? Sure, I'll get on that. Or I could give you, like, 40 quid. Alright.
Like, I think the problem with it is it's not intrusive in the same way it is in a lot of mobile games, but it just affects the game balance so much.
Yeah, it's really balanced towards you have to put in so many hours to get stuff.
Like, I mean, my character has been on the PS3 and the PS4 and PC, and I've had the character since it came out on PS3. And the only I had like legit money. I had like one supercar and one apartment, like, and I played it a lot. I didn't grind. I mean, well, me and Dan, we grinded a lot on that when that came out, didn't we? We just fucking, oh my god, we grinded so much on that game.
Yeah,
and we shouldn't have had to. I just remember us like spending a whole day just doing the same mission. Over and over.
I distinctly remember it was Rooftop Rumble when it was actually they had a thing and it was slightly paying out a bit more. Just ended up playing the same thing over.
We got so efficient at it. We did it in like 2 minutes.
I had a lot of fun without ever really grinding or ever spending any money. You can still have fun. I don't feel like it got in the way of the fun.
I think it gets in the way of sort of... Yeah, if you just want to dick around with friends, it's absolutely fine. But if you actually want to progress in that game, the microtransactions almost become essential.
Like,
I'm almost not sure what progress even looks like in GTA Online. To me, it was just a big dicking around, blowing people up simulator.
Well, it's stuff like the fact you got to buy all your ammo and weapons and stuff. Like, if you start throwing some grenades around, you're like 20 grand down.
Yeah.
You start throwing a fair few satchel bombs and stuff down.
Like, I just think, like, okay, I, on the PS, I think 3... cheated a lot of levels. There was a bug where in a mission, you'd respawn in the military base, you'd get shot, you'd lose your water levels, you'd get RP for losing your water level, and respawn in the military base, and that just go on forever. And I gained a lot of levels through that, and I also cheated levels, and I feel like in any other game, I'd feel like I'm breaking the game, or, I don't deserve... No, in this game, I do not feel like... I got given like 40 million from hackers, and even then, like, I'm at a point now in GTA where I have everything unlocked. And I'm at that point where it's no longer grinding anymore. But even then, even then, it's ridiculous. Like, 8 million for a boat, pointless boat.
A yacht.
Let's find out how much a boat actually costs. Roughly how big is this yacht?
Big yacht.
It's a big yacht.
It's
Are we
yacht.
talk like? Give me a rough idea in meters. Are we talking 100 meters, 200 meters?
Big yacht.
It's a big yacht. I don't know.
How big?
Okay.
I don't know.
Does it look
50
bigger or
feet.
longer than the thing that Usain Bolt runs on when he does his running?
John, you're the only one here with a university degree. You tell me.
You don't get a free yacht when you go to university.
Ah.
You've got a significantly skewed view as to what a university education gets you.
About
It isn't
50
a
people
free.
just
You don't
screwed
get
up
a
UCAS
handshake and a free
application
yacht when you're done.
Hang on, I'll Google it. Yacht. Yeah, yacht length. It's a super yacht.
It's a super yacht.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm
Super.
gonna go on eBay and look for super yachts. See if anyone's selling a super yacht.
No,
on
but the
eBay.
problem with it being 8 million. I mean, okay, the base model 6 million, but the problem with it being that much is like that much in microtransactions is I think £80 or something ridiculous, and it's such a.
I thought 8 million was £35.
Oh no,
Really?
no. A million's 10.
Shit.
A million is 10. £40 will be 300.
8 million is £30, £35.45 according to a thing that I just found. Hang on, let's have a
Oh.
look in game.
Maybe it's cheaper than I thought.
It's still fucking loads of money considering it's the same
Oh, yeah,
price
it's a
as
lot of
that
money.
fucking game. Oh no, I'm absolutely wrong. That's some bullshit knockoff site. $64.99
Okay, there we
for
go.
$8
Yeah.
million of in-game
I'm
money.
looking at a much smaller yacht in real life than the one in GTA, and that's 24 million US dollars. So we're getting a really good deal in GTA Online right now. Like,
Yeah,
inflation
but, okay.
has been kind to Los Santos.
Can I point out that this is a yacht that doesn't actually sail, it just magically teleports between a few
this
locations.
frustrates me as well because even if you pay the 8 million whatever for the yacht and you get I'm glad you get like a helicopter and boats and shit with it and fine, but if you want to move it to somewhere else on the map, and keep in mind every time you go into a new session it randomly puts itself somewhere on the map. If you want to move it to another one of the locations, it costs 20,000 just to move it. The privilege of moving it, they want 20,000, which even me, as I said, I got loads of money through hackers, and I bought a lot of stuff. I just went, okay, they're gonna take it away from me. I'm just gonna buy everything, and I did. And even then, like, it's so hard to get money. Like, I did a heist, and it goes poof because you use like you do one thing and you spend some money on ammo, and then you have no money.
So basically, you're upset that you have to spend £20,000 moving your yacht out of your 40 million.
I'm upset that
The latest news from the Panama Papers release here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Mataphobia claiming he shouldn't have to pay tax. It cost him $20,000 to move his yacht.
No,
With that much cost, of course he doesn't pay taxes.
Well, no, but it's ridiculous that even if you're at that stage in the game, you still have to be paying a lot. Like, it really, it should get to some point in the game where you're no longer dependent on the GTA dollars. You should just be able to cruise. And it never gets to that point. You're always fucking, even when you're really rich, and even if you have loads of money, and even have loads of fucking cars and shit, you're still just fighting to buy fucking ammo. And that's the problem. I mean, it's great saying, oh, it's great and fun, but if you've got no bloody ammo to do the fun thing, when you have to grind in stupid missions. And Dan made another point in that because they're doing all this, in one fairness, all the DLC's been free so far. Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's all been, here's a low ride. Like, the heists were great, but then...
Yeah, Heist was free. That was good.
But heist was like a thing they were doing anyway.
Yeah.
And then everything else has just been more shit to buy with the microtransaction money.
Oh, well, this is it. Like lowriders and all this stuff in GTA San Andreas, they're sort of able to. The intense customization was a thing you could do in that game to any car,
Yep.
and they're adding it slowly with these sort of lowriders. And there's a lot more cars now. They're adding slowly to that. You can get like supercars and stuff through that now, but you can only do it in online. You can't actually customize those cars in single player unless you have a trainer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, they actually changed the game coding. Of course, you can get around it with mods, but they made it way, way, way harder, or well, as they thought was impossible, to spawn any of the multiplayer vehicles into single player.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they made it so you could buy them, but no, you've made me think even worse of them.
Yeah, you can't actually get them in the single player. They've actually got, it's multiplayer only now. They're pushing everyone towards the multiplayer. It's like, if you wanted to get, so I looked up the price of sticky bombs. They are $600 of in-game money. So that's, if you want to refill your sticky bombs, that's $12,000. Oh, sorry, 25 you can get. Oh, no, 20 you can get.
Yeah, you can,
so it's
you get 25, you get
$12,000 to just refill one weapon. And in that weapon wheel, there's what, 10 slots? And each slot has got, what, 5, 6 weapons in it?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, I know if there's been times where, because I'm at a level now where you get the minigun and you get the big expensive guns, and to refill ammo, to refill all ammo if you do before a mission, even if I've only used some of my ammo, it's like 50 grand, 100 grand.
Maybe this is all part of a big, interesting moral message from Rockstar to teach us that crime doesn't pay, and if we were just satisfied with the mortgages on our houses paid off and a membership to our golf clubs, then we wouldn't need to worry about refueling weapons because we wouldn't be murdering people.
Well, I want to point out as well, we should probably be more annoyed at Take-Two as opposed to Rockstar.
That's true, yes.
Yes.
Because Take-Two are the ones... I know there were some guys working on the GTA... I think I mentioned this last time, GTA multiplayer, the free multiplayer, kind of like Just Cause multiplayer.
Yeah.
And they got shut down. They got lawyers sent to them by Take-Two, said, you're threatening our business, blah, 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 blah. And, literally they came to their door. Lawyers.
Yep. I have a story about them that I can't actually talk about. I have two now that I can't actually talk about, the things that were being planned that Take-Two came along and went, nope.
Yeah.
I can't talk about them.
It's very... They're really, I think, punishing the fans of their game at this point. Where they're going, we want to make... And it is a big money maker for them, in fairness. I can see why it would impact their business to have some sort of free model. But frankly, they shouldn't have put themselves in a position whereby people wanting to play the game would, Yeah.
It's like if you want to play GTA Online, you will have a good time. If you want to play GTA Online for a bit longer, it's going to start becoming an unfair grind. It's just things are all over the place. Like, so for the minigun, you can stick an army tint on it, and you make it look like army colors, and that's $100 of in-game money. If you want it to be pink, it's $7,500 of in-game money.
And
so it's just, and it, like, actually customizing your car costs like hundreds of thousands if you just want to equip like the tiniest basic thing.
The lowriders,
I've not
especially.
even checked. I've really got put off by the whole thing.
The lowriders, if you want any lowrider, no matter how cheap the car is, you have to pay for the lowrider upgrade, right?
Yep.
And, you can get a $20,000 car, but the lowrider upgrade will sort of, the price of it will change based on the cheapness of the car. So if you have a really cheap car, the lowrider upgrade will be really expensive. If you've got an expensive car, the lowrider upgrade will be cheaper. Either way, it averages about $1 million just for the basic lowrider car. You want to customize it anymore? You want to put the better hydraulics on it? That's another $500,000. You want to put a nice scoop on it? That's a 50 grand. You want to put a horn on it? 100 grand. Yeah,
there's a lot of really overpriced shit that is... It's just there for the whales, which is capitalizing. In fact, there was a news story... Hang on, I wrote it down. I have to read now. The average mobile gamer spends $87 on microtransactions.
My God.
Per what?
Per game.
Per game?
Per game.
What?
On average.
Average, because there are... Well, that's...
Because there's the whales that go up and there's the people that go down.
I hate the word whales. We need to destroy this word.
It's a word that's used, though. Have either of you seen that South Park episode about literally this?
No.
There's a whole South Park episode.
Wait, actually, no, I did. That's one of the very few I've actually seen.
Yeah. And he's talking about whales, and it's like Canada's become this microtransaction country, and they talking about like microtransaction video games. It's a good episode, actually.
Yeah, fun. It can't be fun. Fun has to be one payment away all times.
And it's just... I don't know what I was going to say.
Good. You were talking about Canada, so I'm surprised you got distracted. I'm going to look up this story again. I've written these down throughout the week this morning. There we go.
Destroy whales, many a Trino 2016, says someone in the chat.
In the US, people who spent money in their mobile games last year shelled out an average of $87 of in-app purchases on free-to-play mobile games.
Well, you can tell this, because you see these, like, you saw a Super Bowl ad for, like, Clash of Clans with Liam Neeson. You can afford, like, there's,
Arnold Schwarzenegger on one of them at the moment.
Like, Mobile Strike on, I've seen loads of ads for that. It's fucking awful. Although, in fairness, Arnie seems to take anything now.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, right.
Kate Upton doing whatever it was she did apparently worked out very well for them.
Spend per player in the top 25 mobile games of 2015. At the bottom, I'm going to go through all 25 of these. And this is per player per game on average. At the bottom is Minecraft at $6.50. I believe it's a pay-for game, and that's the price of it. So that's literally the only game here that you actually pay money for is at the very bottom of this list. Next up is The Sims Free Play, where people spend an average of $38.55.
Oh god, it's jumped pretty high already, hasn't it?
Yeah, that jumped pretty quickly from Minecraft an entire game to The Sims Free Play,
which is
we've
like
gone up
6 times already.
over $30. That's the price of pretty much the price of a AAA game from last year. We have Farm Heroes Saga at $55.21. SimCity Build It, $55. It goes on and on. Candy Crush Soda Saga there. Oh, Candy Crush Saga is $61.49. But after a little while, you get something like Clash of Clans, $112.99.
Ooh,
And
I can believe that. I know someone who used to be pretty addicted to that. I can believe it.
It gets worse. Double Down Casino free slots, $126.82. Castle Clash, $202.26. Big Fish Casino free slots, $232.67. So that is the last gambling one. So a proper full-on gambling thing, $232. Summoner's War, whatever the hell that is, $272.41. And at the top, Game of War Fire Age, the average player spends $549.69 on that game.
The thing that bothers me about these microtransaction games especially is that they don't seem to have the same laws as that gambling. Like
It's because, I know the actual reason for this. I know the actual reason is because you can't win money. If you could win money, it's gambling. If you can't win anything from spending it, so these free slot things, you don't actually ever win, I assume. You might win vouchers or actual things, but as long as you can't win money back, what you actually probably win in Big Fish Casino free slots is just more goes on the slots.
But it seems like the law really needs to be changed at this point, because this seems like it's more harmful. Because at least when you fucking gamble, there's a chance that you can get something. There's nothing from these.
Yeah,
Ooh, I've just done some quick maths, by the way. I think that you might find this quite interesting. So, looking at the number of GTA Online players and the amount of money that Rockstar has made from them, and the cheapest that you can buy a yacht for, looking at a small yacht, Rockstar could actually buy 2.5% of their entire player base actual physical real-world yachts and moorings, using the money they've made off them.
That's pretty good.
And
which I think they should actually do. That's about 71,000 yachts plus moorings, though admittedly they do have to be kind of on the coast of Wales between Aberystwyth and Cardigan, because that's the only place you can get a yacht cheap enough.
The funny thing is, though, you say that, but that's probably how many yachts are in the actual game that people have bought. Like, cause
maybe they should actually just buy everyone who's bought a yacht a real yacht in Wales.
Well, no, because this is an interesting thing with GTA. If you all go on PC, I know Dan, you don't play on PC, and I don't think John, you've touched online on PC either.
No, I'm my entire save files for GTA is on PS4.
If you go online on PC, there are hackers everywhere, and Rockstar will not stop the actual hackers. They'll only stop hackers that are hacking in money. Now, everyone has a yacht, seemingly, in PC. I've never been in a session without, like, at least 10 yachts. On PS4, it's rare to find
Maybe they all went to university.
But on PS4, I rarely find a session with a single yacht, which makes it obvious that not that many people are buying the... You know, because it's hard to tell on PC who's actually paying and who's just got it hacked in. You can kind of tell based on PS4 that since PS4 players generally a bit lower level, aside from some of them who are level 999, 900... What was that? That was something on the DadQ video, wasn't it? And I wish they wouldn't. Stop buying.
Maybe all the whales are just on Steam. Maybe they're whales spouting steam out their blowholes.
Dear, okay, everyone listening, stop. Everyone listening, just stop. Thank you.
I believe... I'm having a look at this Big Fish Casino thing. I believe it actually... All the current slot jackpots on an image I found on their Facebook is all listing that you win chips, and I don't think you can cash out. So it's just chips winning, chips winning,
This
chips.
is the saddest casino in the world.
Yeah, so people are spending $200 on something that actually doesn't win anything.
But this sounds so much more harmful. Like, it
What's
is.
even worse is it's got a current 4.3 review rating, and it's had between 10 and 50 million installs.
No. You know, actually, hang on, let me just check something. Let's look at... I mean, say what you will about the iOS App Store, but they do really push games without microtransactions in a lot on their homepage. Let me just see here. Explore, actually, top charts. Let's look at the top charts on iOS, right? Most of the paid ones are driving test applications, hilariously, and Monopoly for some reason. Monopoly's awful. Free, right. Free. Actually, no, there's a top grossing chart. Here we go. Top grossing. Number 1, Spotify.
Are any of these paid for?
The top grossing ones, yeah, let me scroll.
I got Minecraft at 34 on the Android store.
So I'm
you have to out of the top grossing ones, Minecraft is in there at 34. And
found it.
That's it.
The top grossing application on iOS that actually, I mean, they have all of in-app purchases, but the top one that actually costs money initially is Grindr Premium, which is Tinder for homosexuals, which is good. And then let's look further down. Minecraft, there we go. Minecraft Pocket Edition 55. The rest of them are just all free to play.
On the Android store, on the Google Play Store, at 34 we've got Minecraft, and then all the way down at 99, Minecraft Story Mode is apparently 50p.
Oh fuck Minecraft Story Mode.
I don't know why it's only 50p.
They usually charge
90% off at the moment. Yeah, that's probably why it's up so high. And look, it's all just free to play games. Free to play is making the most money.
Oh, there we go. Facetune is 122. So the Ultimate Driving Theory Test Kit, number 116. There are a lot of people driving. A lot of people learning to drive. But like
Final Fantasy 9 for Android is at 221, and 223 is Ultimate Guitar. Wow, these are quality things.
Number 1, Spotify. 2, Clash of Clans. 3, Candy Crush Saga. 4, Clash Royale. 5, Game of War. 6, Tinder. 7, Mobile Strike. 8, Candy Crush Soda Saga. 9, Netflix. 10, Candy Crush Jelly Saga. What the fuck is the difference between Candy Crush Jelly Saga and Candy Crush Soda Saga? Nobody fucking knows. Why are they different
jelly
games?
in it.
Fuck off, John.
Only one of them has jelly in it. I think we can guess which one.
11 is something called Badoo.
Hang on, wait. I have to go into this because at 293 we have Theory Test 2016 for driving, and then there's Football Chairman Pro at 298, which means, and there's Disney Crossy Road I've just seen. But out of the top 300 grossing games, that's what, 6 that actually cost money?
Yeah.
7?
I'm now curious as to what the difference between a football chairman game and a football manager game is.
I assume it's so they don't get sued by calling it Football Manager.
Yeah.
That's more disappointing.
I find it quite interesting here as well, because a lot of these top apps, these top grossing apps, a lot of them are dating. It's either these free to play gaming apps. There's quite a lot of dating apps in here. Match.com, Tinder, Badoo.
That's not too surprising, is it?
It's only an iPhone, though.
There's a lot of people in the world that like to play games, but the number of people who want to have sex is probably even higher than that.
I'm not sure. I mean, I played the new Ratchet and Clank, and I think actually if we let that in the world, then a lot of people would want to play games more than Bang.
There is a WWE game at 32. WWE Supercard.
It's the shitty cards one.
It's a card game. A fast-paced action.
Infamous clone.
Oh, fast-paced action.
Clone.
There's a picture here of a ring in it containing 2 cards, one of John Cena and one of The Rock, and it says fast-paced action underneath it. And I don't know how you could possibly make that fast-paced. Fast-paced.
I quite enjoy it. Some of the Twitch chat is saying, yeah, but where did you get this $87 from? It was a report from the digital commerce analyst Slice Intelligence, and they got the data from over 4 million digital purchases.
Yeah, fuck off, Twitch chat.
So it's quite... Yeah. So it's 10% of mobile users account for 90% of the revenue, and the top 1%, which are they're the whales, the white whales, which is the top 1% of purchasers, are 58% of that money.
Jesus.
Are just the top 1%. So they will make these shitty games, and they're all shitty. Every game on that list is shitty. Some people go, "Oh, try this mobile game," and I play and go, "Yeah, that was shitty." There's nothing there. They're all just shitty clones or time. Everybody goes, "Oh, but it's just a time sink." Well, do a fucking crossword then. Do something.
Look, right.
As
someone who doesn't play on mobile much, right? I do have some mobile games. They all cost about 69 pence to £3. No microtransactions. They're all little time sinks. Threes is a fucking great time sink, and it's £2, and that's it. Fuck off. I mean, there's so many games that you can just pay money for, or some of them are even free, that just have ads in. Like Piano Tiles, I think, is free with ads, and that's fine. I mean,
would you like me to read the list of games that I have on my phone? Note that I'm a professional gamer and I spend pretty much every waking hour playing video games.
Please.
Well, that's a fun game. Yeah, that's fun.
I have none.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. I have Netflix.
I have one.
If I'm on a plane.
I have one.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Which is still there because I never uninstalled it after I made the video of that.
I got a new phone since making Pie Fight, and I never bothered to reinstall the fucking thing.
So I've got one game on here, and it's Pie Fight.
I'll be honest.
Thursday out the loop. That's the game that I fucking made. And even I'm like, nah.
Yeah. I have very few games. I have Downwell. That's fine on mobile. You know, I have San Andreas.
Oh my
on
god,
phone.
Downwell's on mobile. That sounds like hell. Touch
Race the
controls
Sun.
are awful. If you're making a game for touch thing, right, make it simple and actually work with touch things. Don't make it quick and reaction-y like you do, because you don't actually get that on a touch thing, because you can actually touch the buttons. If you have a mobile phone now, you may not have known this, you can actually touch the buttons, like touch the touchscreen without actually touching it, because it just reads the electrical signal. So you just put your finger quite close and you'll just see, oh, I'm not actually touching it, but I can still select things. That makes huge problems for reaction.
For example, I have Super Hexagon and Race the Sun and Downwell on the phone, and they're all pretty shit with touch controls.
Yep.
Also, Crazy Taxi. I do have San Andreas on my phone only because I like the idea that San Andreas is on my phone. I never play it. I just like that it's there.
I got Vice City on my last phone. I was like, oh my god, Vice City on my phone. I'm going to play that all the time.
Oh,
I
it's
played
terrible
it
on
for about 20
phones.
minutes, and I was like, I hate this so much.
It's so awful because it just it's how the fuck? I mean, I haven't tried it in San Andreas, but could you imagine flying a Hydra with it?
I don't
There's
even
no
know.
cheats in it, so I've never been able to cheat it in. And I can't be bothered playing it to the point where I can get a Hydra.
How are there no cheats in it? It's just
because it's the Xbox
up, down,
port.
down, left, right. Oh,
yeah, it's the port of the Xbox remastered version.
Oh, the one with less songs and
yeah,
shittiness.
it's that one.
Wow, we're really pissing on Rockstar today, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
We should piss on someone else.
I'm glad I actually have the disc version of San Andreas for PC, so I can actually keep playing the fucking thing.
I mean, on one hand, they did add proper 1080p support, and they did add proper controller support. So yeah, well done.
Proper controller support on a phone. Well, that won't help me.
Phone. But no, legitimately, I just like the idea that this is a game that is one of my favorite games ever, and I never.
Oh no, it's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, I just like that it's there. It's terrible on phone, but I like that I can think I can play San Andreas for phone right now if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I could. It's there. It's like it's just like it's a safe. It's just I like knowing, you know. I like it's a big thing. It's like I used to have to play this on a big, beefy console, and now it's in my pocket at all times.
I hate microtransactions. The problem with microtransactions really is that now we're gonna get well, we've got no single player DLC for GTA 5 because they were gonna make it, and then they went, nah, we're not, because there's no fucking point because it's not gonna sell as much. There's just no point to the damn thing. They're not going to sell it. I mean, they needed to have GTA 5 as the base, but I mean, what's their next GTA going to be? Is it going to be GTA 6 or is it going to be GTA Online 2?
No, I don't want them to go the direction that remember Elder Scrolls is now like just they have the online.
Oh yeah, online. Fuck! I forgot that was a thing. I don't know.
That won't last. That'll be a one-off. That has not done well.
But it's still getting DLC and it's still getting support and it's still.
Yeah, I would like to point out that Battleborn just went live. Open beta available now. I will point out that World of Warcraft is still getting expansion packs, and I played that for the first time in my life 2 days ago for about 2 hours, and I'm there going, oh my god, this is like, because I have a little subtitle at the end of my videos now. This is Nerd³ plays World of Warcraft - visiting Grandad. Because it is so old. Everything about it is so old.
You should have gone and experienced the Nostalria server before they finally shut it down.
Oh yeah, I saw JonTron's argument of that, and that's interesting that they've changed the game so much that it's unrecognisable from the original one, but it still looks old. That's amazing to me.
I had no idea. What's this story about? Tell me things.
Okay, basically, there's been so many expansions to World of Warcraft now that the game is very different to when it first released.
Yes.
Extremely different. And there's no way to play the first version of the game. So there were fan-made servers. There was one called, what was it, John?
Nostalrius is the server that's been in the news recently, the big one.
There was
it had 150,000 active players on it.
Massive player base, but Blizzard shut it down.
Or are in the process of. I think it's still alive just.
No, I think they I think the server's been closed. I know that.
Oh, is it dead now?
Yeah, I think they did. They actually closed it after they got a cease and desist or something.
Fun! Cease and desist are fun. Nintendo just threw one on someone. As a side note, because I don't want to talk about it for very long. Somebody made a really nice voxel version of Legend of Zelda, and then Nintendo shut on it.
I don't know why, like, with all these things. Clearly, people want them, and the fans are clearly showing the game love. Why can't the publisher just work with them? Just work
Because
with
they might do that in the future.
You know, I have a lot of problems with Square Enix, also fuck Square Enix, but at least, like, what the Just Cause and Avalanche are doing with, like, the fan-made stuff, and especially the online stuff, which on one hand, it feels like they just sort of decided not to make online because they knew fans would, but on the other hand, I'm glad they're very supportive of their fan community.
Yeah.
They're not sending cease and desists for mods or anything like that. It's just, yeah, go nuts, and they support them. Because why? You might as well work with them instead of going, oh, you're gonna impact our business. Well, help them be part of your business, then, you fucking prick of a company. Prick.
That was Matt's rant corner.
Rant corner.
Well, we're pissing on things. Can I just quickly piss on Quantum Break?
Quantum Break, yeah, I was gonna say because I have at the top of my notes here.
More like Quantum Broken.
Oh yeah.
God. I want to point out, right, just before we started, John said he wanted to talk about this, so I added to the list of stuff we were going to talk about, Quantum Break equals shit, and that's just at the top of my...
That's number one. We're just getting to that 45 minutes in. Well, I don't really want to kind of spend much time on it. I just kind of want to point out two things, which is, one, if you've got a game where break is in the title, make sure it works before you release it. Otherwise, the headlines have just written themselves, and it's your own damn fault. Do not release that game.
Quantum Broken.
Do not release that game broken. But my favourite thing they did, aside from like, you could spend like the rest of this podcast discussing the list of things that people are saying is wrong with Quantum Break, especially on the PC version, which is just broken. And we can probably talk about how bullshit the Universal Windows platform is.
There's a Windows 10 version, and that's it.
Indeed. But the hilarious one that I absolutely love, because I went through all the things that people are complaining about, they forgot to put an exit button on the main menu. There's no way to leave the game. The official advice on the they've put on the Steam sorry, not the Steam page. They just kind of there is no Steam page, of course, because it's bullshit Windows. The official advice they have released is Alt F4, then click the cross, and we'll patch in an exit button soon.
Because it was an Xbox port and the Xbox...
Because they've forgotten to put an exit button in.
Jesus.
Which is my favourite thing to not bother putting in a game.
In fairness to them, it seems like a
thing.
game that clearly wasn't meant to be on PC until late in development.
Not in the slightest, no. Clearly,
And
the
it
Universal
shows.
Windows platform was dreamt up, and they thought, I know, we'll show this off by putting this on the Universal Windows platform. This will be a fantastic way to launch the Windows Universal platform.
And the devs were like, what?
I mean,
no.
it did not take long for the Universal Windows platform to go from being a terrible idea to a terrible execution. That has happened in a matter of days.
It's a decent idea, but it's so badly
No, it's not. Gating community is
never
and it's a terrible idea, and it's shit on multiple levels. It was conceptually a bad idea.
The idea that you can just have an app that works on Xbox and PC, that simple concept in itself, okay.
Yeah. But then you have to dumb the PC version down as much as possible, because
there's a lot of things that are good ideas, Matt. The fact that the Israelis and the Palestinians could just maybe leave each other alone for a bit would also be a lovely idea in principle.
I didn't say it was practical. I just said it was... Look, right. I like that Microsoft always come out like, oh, we should put the PC in, we want to blah, 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 blah. But they seem to just completely not understand why people like to play on PC. Which is the whole idea
obviously, the big thing is, like, the huge problems that have been the PC, the first thing people have said is, we could mod this, I could fix this for you in 30 minutes, but I can't because it's on the Universal Windows platform. If this were on Steam, we'd already have fixed this. That's what's particularly infuriating about it. They've actually made it a worse... They haven't just fucked it up, they've fucked it up in such a way as now we can't even fix it.
Well, this actually brings up the interesting point about whether... Because I think the PC is an interesting platform in the sense that a lot of with Steam machines and stuff, people are trying to attract people to the Windows platform by making it simplified, making it more like a console. And inherently, the Windows Universal platform is more like a console. But Microsoft are trying to appeal to current PC gamers, not future PC gamers, with this. So they're going, hey, look, it's simple. And they're like, we want it to work, and we want freedom. Fuck you. And they're like, oh, no. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
There's an amazing impression there. It's like an interpretive dance representing the state of the industry.
Oh, somebody in the Twitch chat linked me to something.
Oh, you clicked something in the Twitch chat. Look at you.
That is ballsy.
I didn't actually. I googled it.
Why lie? Why do you lie? You're
They
a
linked me to
compulsive
something.
liar.
They said, "Hey, here's the thing about this," and I went, "Oh, cool." And then I googled the story they were talking about because fuck clicking a random link.
Oh, is this something we can just do now? If I just want to talk something, I can just say, "Hey, I just saw someone in the Twitch chat mention that we should
I do
talk
that all
about."
the time.
Oh,
I do
he
that
does
all
that
wow,
all the time.
we can just do that. Oh, well, now let's just do that then.
I want to point out, I am reading the Twitch chat constantly, and there's so many times where Dan just makes something up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a massive liar, but this was genuine. The
Matt, you can verify this for us.
Leslie Benzies. Do you know who that guy is?
Yes, I read about this story today.
I did not know
Not a
this
clue.
has happened. Oh, this happened literally yesterday. Okay. Leslie Benzies is the producer of Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City,
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto San
that,
Andreas, Grand Theft Auto
that,
Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Manhunt 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and the Damned, Chinatown Wars, The Battle of Gay Tony, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, Max Payne 3, and Grand Theft Auto 5, where he was also the game designer. He has done a lot of stuff that I really quite like, and he is suing Rockstar North for 150 million in unpaid royalties.
And they're suing him right back.
And they're suing him back because he is apparently broke his contract or something. So that's gonna be fun.
There's a lot of
Rockstar
talk
have a good history of winning massive legal debates against them, like the hot coffee mod. Oh wait, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, they've clearly got the money, as we've proven earlier today.
Apparently,
Assuming they don't go through with the buying everyone yachts plan.
Yeah, yes, they shouldn't do that. Actually, sorry, Rockstar, you're not have to do that anymore.
apparently
sorry,
Dan
Twitch.
Howes was pretty pissed off him as well, because apparently he put his name last on GE Online instead of Dan House's name. And apparently Dan Howes was pissed off at that. And that's sort of
There was,
created animosity between them.
Yeah, I heard that there was some shit going down because half of Rockstar wants to focus on single-player stuff, and the rest of them going, money, 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 dun dun, it's so funny, dun dun.
No, well,
in
Are
Are
a
you remixing the
microtransaction
Crystal
world."
Maze theme tune with Money, Money, Money right now?
That was perfectly spot on, in-tune version of ABBA's Money, Money, Money.
No, because this is interesting.
Dun,
'cause
dun, dun,
clearly
dun,
a lot of people in
dun,
Rockstar
dun, money,
want to
money,
make good
money.
single-player games, don't they? They want to
Yes.
make good single-player games because they have in history. Most of them want to do that, and
Yes.
the business direction of them is all this online microtransaction stuff. And it'd be interesting to see how many people end up leaving or just whatever. Like, it'd be interesting to see what ends up happening if it'll just keep on going the way it's going or what. You know.
Leave and reform Team Bondi and make LA Noire 2.
Oh God.
They gotta make
Not going to
Bully
leave
2
that one
first.
alone. I want an LA Noire 2.
I want Bully 2 first, please.
Oh, give me Red Dead Redemption 3. Red Dead 3.
Red Dead
How about
Redemption
Space Station
2,
Silicon
Red Dead.
Valley and Body Harvest? Remake Body Harvest!
We've been through this. They're not remaking Body Harvest, John.
They need to remake Body Harvest. I'm
God
sad.
damn it, John.
Made that game they said they were going to make for PS3 and never did.
Agent.
Yeah.
Saboteur.
Agent.
Agenteur, whatever it was called. Agent Provocateur.
just
I can't remember.
Agent Provocateur is a sexy lingerie shop. Agent
Okay.
is a Rockstar thing.
Though interestingly, if you made a game called Agent or Provocateur, both of those would sound like a cool badass spy names. But if you make the game Agent Provocateur, you've made an entirely different game.
That still sounds cool and badass to me.
I think so. I bet you could probably get away with launching a game called Agent Provocateur in a country that just doesn't have Agent Provocateur and just pretend it's a super awesome name for a badass super spy.
I would do that.
Yeah.
What do you think our next game is?
Wonder what countries Agent Provocateur aren't in. Hang on.
Oh my god. John is now Googling lingerie shops. This is the best podcast in the world.
It's not. Although, in fairness, we did get to #1 in gaming and hobby podcasts on iTunes last
How
week.
long did that last? Was that just like for 5 minutes, or was that genuinely a thing?
That was for a couple of days. We were #1
nice.
in gaming and hobbies. We were in iTunes. If you looked at podcasts and you scroll down the categories, we were the pitcher for gaming and hobbies.
Yeah!
We were
Oh,
above
yeah.
the God Optional podcast. We were above the Gym Quiz. We were above the gym.
It's because a
whatever.
lot of people download this going, I can't believe that was that shit. I have to listen to it again.
Yeah,
True story.
that's it entirely. I wonder. It's probably like massively dropped now, but I quite.
Is anyone
like.
else like really interested to see what John's about to say? I'm actually quite excited to
I'm
see what
not.
countries don't
I
have
never
Agent
get
Provocateur at
excited
this
for
point.
what John's gonna say.
There's
I
Japan. Japan
lower
does
my
not have
expectation.
Agent Provocateur.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. The Asian ones are only in Hong Kong, China, loads in Malaysia, and loads in Malaysia.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah, there's none in Japan, so maybe you could try launching a super badass, awesome spy game and tie-in spy film, Agent Provocateur, in Japan.
Aren't Japan scared of... Isn't there like a Paris syndrome, which is like Japanese tourists go to Paris and it's so shit, their expectations get shattered and they get physically ill because of it?
Having been to Paris, that sounds about right, yeah.
I swear that's a real thing. I'm Googling like...
How does that not happen in London? How are there not people just corpses on the street, lining the streets of London?
Because in like Japanese culture, Paris is seen like, oh, it's the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's real! I did not just make this up. I'm now looking at the Wikipedia article for it.
This is
What,
not
for Agent Provocateur?
Oh
no, Paris syndrome. I know that's real. Jesus Christ. I'm wearing their full catalogue right now.
Okay,
I got advanced copies of it all.
Looking at the top gaming podcasts on number 24 and number 28.
This is like that bit where WWE goes, we're trending worldwide, #1. We're not.
You know, they already have their own fragrance called Agent Provocateur, which I guess therefore smells of underwear, which is
smells of sweaty thong.
Stop.
Presumably it must do.
It's just
what else does a signature fragrance named after an underwear smell of other than worn underwear?
It's the smell of jelly after women have wrestled it. That's what it is. Let's bottle it. It's porn and pudding.
Maybe that's why they don't bother. Maybe that's why they don't bother just shipping their clothes to Japan, because that's all they sell in Japan. They just sell the fragrance out of vending machines. Will go down
I did try and market the Nerd³ thong to people at EGX. Actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah. By the way, that reminds me, we do have a Nerd³ thong.
Is it unisex or for women only?
You need sex.
I mean, you could wear it if you want. It might not fit your,
gentleman's relish.
Yeah, it might not fit that in properly, but you can. It might expand
which exact
Dan's
bit?
face a little bit.
Theoretically, would like some bits fit but not others?
I mean, you probably have to have
would
it
the
hanging
gentleman's
out,
sausage fit, but the gentleman packages
we're
not
not going to be
fit?
on iTunes anymore because this just became an 18-rated podcast.
Well, we are. Well, look, it's a mature rating. We have the mature rating. We're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want, and iTunes are going to allow us on because that's their rule. Fuck you.
Hey, we decided to make this podcast 3 hours instead of 2, so from now on it's going to be a 3-hour podcast. Guess who's getting that idea? His name is me. His name is me. Hey, I thought of something we could talk about very quickly.
Yes.
Because
is it going to be something really spectacular? We've kind of got to do the big climax to the first break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big, we should stop saying words like climax is the thing. The gaming BAFTAs apparently happened, as someone on the Twitch chat just said.
I can't figure out who the bloody hell... I've been looking for who the jury are, because I'm trying to figure out who loves Everyone Went to the Rapture that much.
God,
I can't find out who the jury are. I think they've gone into hiding.
I can tell you, if you're patient for a second.
Tell me.
The BAFTAs are decided by BAFTA members, which is just a load of fucking people.
Just a load of people.
If you're a BAFTA member, if you pay money to be a BAFTA member, you can vote on them.
But the BAFTA page itself says there's a jury. A proper jury.
At least for the gaming one, it was decided by BAFTA members.
Oh. Well, they have a lot of people
Apparently.
who really like Everyone Went to the Rapture.
Okay, being there, right, I was sat at the very back. And fucking any time Everyone's Gone to the Rapture was mentioned, just this fucking row of people at the front, which were clearly part of that team, just made all the fucking noise.
It was a game about the fucking West Country life and
why it won fucking best audio, it won best music, it won best voice actor.
How did it win best audio when I have to have the fucking subtitles on to know what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. And it had fucking Her Story won best mobile game, even though it was just a game that was ported to mobile and it isn't mobile first game, even though all the other games were mobile first games. What the
Hey.
I felt very bad for The Witcher 3 that didn't win anything, despite probably should have won quite a few things.
No, there were so many games there. There were so many other games. They nominated about the same 7 games for every fucking category. Instead of there was a massive variation of good games in the past year that just weren't even nominated.
Okay, so
I'm not sure I even feel that great about Fallout 4 winning Game of the Year. No. I think that's okay.
Fallout 4 won Game of the Year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it did.
Wrong. It's a spectacular game, but against The Witcher, The Witcher 3 pushes the RPG.
A lot of people seem to feel The Witcher 3 would have been the better choice.
The Witcher 3, as a game, right, I don't like The Witcher 3 the same as Fallout 4, but Witcher 3 deserves it more as it's from a smaller studio
Yep.
who fucking changed the formula a lot from the previous game, and it changed a lot of things as it pushed the RPG. As Dan says, Fallout 4 is a great game, but it's very linear. It's very similar to previous Fallout games in a lot of ways, and it doesn't revolutionize very much, even though it's still great.
True,
And it shouldn't have
I'd
won.
agree with that. I think that's a fair summation.
I
Yeah,
actually
damn.
would say that Fallout 4 was the better game, but I will say that
Yeah.
stories in... Like, it's more... Because it's a better map, actually. I'd say The Witcher 3 plays better, but it's a better map. Because there's always something, like, just over the corner, there's something new to search for in Fallout.
Well, yeah.
But for story, Fallout 4 story is an absolute pile of
Oh,
shit.
terrible.
As soon as the plot's like, I got to find my baby, you're like, you're not looking for a baby. Everyone knows you're not looking for a baby. Are you going to drag this on for 20 hours? And then they drag it on for 20 hours, and you get the big
The
reveal.
script is terrible. I think Fallout 4 has actually got some really fun, clever stuff in its subtext and its game and its
Yeah.
narrative through mechanics.
I think Chloe's story was better than anything Fallout ever told.
Okay, looking at the BAFTA winners, the best sport... I want to point sports games. Right, there was a sports games category. All the sports games nominations were either football games or driving games or Rocket League. Rocket League won.
Rocket
Well, it's a
League
football
is
driving
sport
game. Football driving game.
Yeah,
Rocket
but it's
League
not a
is
sport.
Rocket League
It's an
is not a
arcade
sport
game. It's
Yeah.
not a sports game. I would not class that as a legit sport. Like, the racing games are legit racing games, and the football games are legit football games. Rocket League's a made-up sport.
I will like to point out that both me and Matt have seen cars play football in a stadium before, though.
Yes.
We have
We
both
both
actually
have seen
seen
Top
that.
Gear live.
We've both seen Top Gear Live. We've both seen the three tosspots drive their cars around.
But it's not a sport.
I will point out, if it was a sport, I'd fucking go and see it because it's
Yeah.
incredible fun.
I mean, they just... The way they nominated these, like, multiplayer, Rocket League, one multiplayer. And you know what? I think that was fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go with that.
Family game. The family game nominations were for anything, like, under PEGI 12. Rocket League won. Best family game.
That's not.
But,
That,
yeah.
no.
The family game,
No.
the family game category, it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
it is, as long as it's under PEGI 12.
well, that's bullshit then.
I know. Guitar Hero Live was nominated for it. Disney 3.0 Play Without Limits, which I love that name because it's
Play
the most
Without
limited game I've ever played. Lego Dimensions, Super Mario Maker. What? What?
Lego Dimensions is a sink of money
I know.
that I've bought 2 of those sets, and that's it. And I'm the biggest Lego fucking... I spent so much fucking money on Lego the other day for a set that's retired. It's untrue.
I know.
But when it comes to Lego Dimensions, I'm like, it's not fucking worth it.
No.
Do you think
it's
there's
not.
somewhere in like the Lego headquarters someone is referring to you as a whale right now?
No,
Somewhere in
it's their
Denmark.
fucking resale.
Somewhere in Denmark, someone is thinking, yes, there is the whale
I
podcast
will
happening
buy
right this moment.
everything they release. Their summer lineup looks fucking incredible. There's a wonderful
really
lighthouse, and there's an RV, and there's 2 themes, right, for the city, airport, and fucking volcanologists. It's the best thing. I'm so
I want to
fucking
point out,
excited.
right, I ran out of space for Lego, so I haven't bought any more, but I'm moving soon, hopefully. So, oh my god. Oh, I'm going to have no money. I'm sorry.
Can I point out that I actually now have a Lego room? I have a whole room
I know.
dedicated to Lego.
I know you do.
Like,
Fuck you.
I was like, do you want a spare bedroom? No. I want a Lego room. I want a Lego room.
Anyway, I have something on my list of things to talk about.
Then let's talk. Hang on, I got
Ooh,
okay,
Matt has a thing on his list.
I want to hear your two opinion on this. I've heard about... I saw this on Twitter for some devs. With VR out, apparently, I'm putting that in inverted commas, because even though Steam says it's out, half the people don't have their Oculuses or fucking
I
Vives
don't
yet.
have my Vive.
The Oculuses have been delayed to component shortages, and the Vives are also not shipping correctly, because... But, do either of you think that... Because some developers are just adding VR support into their games. DCS World, for example, you know, with the A10 Combat Simulator, and a lot of other games are just adding Vive support in. Other games, however, are bringing out Vive, like, you know, VR versions of the games, which are basically the same, but just have VR support, and they're selling them as a new product. And a lot of developers are arguing that, you know, adding support is quite time-consuming and, you know, costly, and they have to change a lot of the game mechanics, and that's why they should have it as a separate product. While others are saying that, you know, it's as simple as literally just changing a new camera thing. Do you think it's in the developer's right to charge for a whole new VR product of the same game?
Yes.
Yes, that seems reasonable. Next question. What's next on your list, Matt?
I thought there'd be a discussion.
I think it's a reasonable thing to do because actually making a game for Vive, not just that works with Vive, actually like works properly with the Vive is, I'd say would be quite a lot of work. Because I can't think of a game where it'd be like if you got something say like say you're a truck simulator, right? Where you're just sitting behind the wheel of a wheel of a truck, not a car. That's a weird thing, unless you mod it. But you're sitting behind the wheel of a truck, right? You think, oh, that's easy to port over to the Vive. Like, because if you just change, put play camera here, and the person looks around. But the camera itself is set, and it's got certain places it goes to. Like, it's normally sitting there. There's the shaking effect. If you look out, look to your left, it leans out the window. Plus, also, there's the fact that a Vive user isn't just rotating on the spot. Like, that camera has to move around. And already you've got so many new things. Like, you'd have to probably completely overhaul a lot of it. Like, if you go, I'm going to need more money to do that, then great. Because the people who will buy it will be the people that want to do that thing.
But if you've already paid £30 for a game, do you think you should have paid another, £30 just to play it in VR, the same game?
Maybe not another £30. If it was a full price release, that might be a bit much. But I do understand, like, say, if we look at the example that came out of films, when they've taken films and tried to post-production to kind of retrofit them into 3D, the effect is generally awful. It's better if there's actually proper effort and work made into making them proper 3D in the first place. So therefore it makes sense to me that rather than just trying to bodge some VR support quickly, they should actually put some proper time and effort and dedicated developer resource into making it work properly. That's going to take time, that's going to cost money. It's fair that it should cost money. I'd rather it was, say, a bit of DLC on the original game. I think maybe a full price release might be pushing it a bit.
Well, if it's a separate sort of version, then you could have, say, if you already own it, you get it for like a third of the price or whatever.
Yeah, that would be fair.
This is the thing. I think I don't like the whole separate thing entirely, because that just messes up the library.
Yeah.
And like, that annoys me as just as an organization freak. Like, I'd rather it just be an expansion pack type thing,
Yeah. Like a DLC add-on, like Vive support as a DLC add-on.
Yeah. I mean, some games.
But Heavy Rain, see, there's a precedent for this, because Heavy Rain re-released as a Move version. Remember that?
No.
That game was shit enough before it needed to be used and controlled with a bullshit control mechanism.
That is true facts there. But
that sounds painful.
The PlayStation Move version, they re-released the game like as I think it was like a £20 game, but it was the full game again, and it was just the Move version. But you didn't need it, like that was the replacement version, so it didn't become like a separate version. It was an entire replacement sort of thing.
So what, did you have to like go into the middle of a room and then walk around your room yelling "Jason" to make it work or something?
If only. If only.
Until you'd actually shouted Jason at least 8 different directions in your room, the game would not proceed.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a genuine real thing.
If you weren't crying when your son died, you weren't allowed to proceed either. You needed to cry real tears. Your son's dead. It's sad.
That little top bit of the move actually opened up, and you had to fill it with tears and then close it again.
Oh God! And shake it around.
Yeah.
That's how you got to, that's how you got it to say Jason. You had to fill it with tears and shake it, and that's when it would say Jason, when it was filled with tears and you were shaking it.
Yeah, and if you pissed in it, the game could detect that and would like punish you.
Like sort of like fucking Stanley Parable style, it locks you in a room and like shows you their serious table.
Yeah, this is a serious table. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, no, but there are some games that I think it would be just inherently kind of dickish to charge again for. Like DCS World's a good example of a game that it's a simulator.
Yeah.
And inherently it is just a case of it's not, going to support Vive controllers, and it's not going to support Oculus controllers, it is just supporting the camera itself.
Yep.
And it's a very simple, it's a simple, I know at least for Oculus, it was a case of, in Unity games, for example, it was just, you downloaded like an Oculus add-on, literally just place the Oculus camera and there you go. So and if it's as simple as that, which I don't think it is as simple as that, but if it's relatively simple to do, to just add that, and if you're in a static environment in a cockpit, and obviously if you move around with the Vive, it's gonna, you're gonna clip through the walls and stuff, but whatever, assuming the people playing it aren't gonna do that, and it doesn't really matter if they do that because they're just sit there. That shouldn't cost money, and DCS has shown that they don't care. They've just added Vive and Oculus support to it, and I think if any devs with a simple like Vive add-on like that just charge like £15, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, first-person walking simulators, for example, are a good example of something that probably shouldn't really cost that much to convert.
Yeah, I think anything that requires...
It depends, because if you've got, say, a leg model attached to your first-person walker, so you've got legs, arms, and all that sort of things, where do they move when you move your head around? Are they going to move... If I move my head to the left, are they going with the player? What if I start going lower? if I'm playing it from, say, sitting in a chair playing it on a controller. If I start moving lower, is it going to start compacting up or getting weird? Am I going to fall through the floor?
There was this issue when I played with the Oculus with stuff like that. You would just sort of start clipping into their body, and it was a bit strange.
Yeah, I remember the early Oculus stuff was very like that.
Oh yeah, but it does present that kind of issue where, especially if you're adding support for the controllers, definitely. You know, but it depending on the game, it just anything like that has a player model or anything that the camera is interacting with in any way. If that camera has to do anything at all outside of look at things, you have to change a lot to make it work properly.
Yeah,
I think that's fair enough.
But again, I mean, it's not just looking at things, because you don't in a game you rotate about the point with your camera. In VR, you don't. That's why VR made everyone, like the first Oculus Rift made a load of people sick. Because if you look to the left, it would just rotate to the left, which is not what your eyes are doing.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm excited for VR. Mine hasn't even given me the hey, it's been shipped. It's just
I know. Me neither.
Nothing. Just nothing.
I didn't know it was shipping in waves when I ordered it.
I got really early in that order as well. I had like an alarm set to make it, so I'm like one of the first. And there's just
and you're still in this wave, the same wave as me, who ordered it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, apparently.
I did contact for a press edition, and I got told that we could get one in 4 weeks. I want to point that out. That's after it's out for everyone, even the Wave 2 people. We'd get it in 4 weeks for 3 days, and then we'd have to send it back.
Wow.
For actual review outlets, what's the point?
Yeah.
I was just sort of asking as if we can get one early, why not? But fucking hell, what's an actual review outlet gonna do with that?
Yeah, nothing. Download a few
Vive
things.
a week,
I'm excited for the Vive.
It's so late.
A little.
I bought this really nice flight stick just for VR.
Ooh.
You're getting really into VR.
Oh my god, have you tried VR, John?
Huh? It gives me a headache.
What did you try?
Yeah, that's the question.
I've tried the Oculus, and that always gives me a headache.
Which one? You can't just say the Oculus.
Oh,
When? Where did you try it?
I don't bloody know. I don't know what model my toaster is either.
I know
Tell
what mine
me when
is.
you tried it.
It's Kenwood.
Fuck off.
Christ. About a year ago.
At EGX.
Dev Kit
Probably.
Okay, you probably tried the Dev Kit 2 then. The Dev Kit 2 has a lot of problems. You might not have those problems with the Vive. The Vive is high res. The Vive you can move around. The Vive has better tracking.
Yeah.
The Vive
I probably will go for
extreme
the Vive. I like the
effects
sound of the Vive
as
from
well.
what I've heard. I just want to know which is nicest to record, which is most stable looking and less juddery when you record it.
Apparently the
They're all gonna
Vive,
be
but
juddery.
I cannot watch people's footage of the Vive.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing. Like, I don't get excited by something unless I can record it, and I know for a fact it's probably very likely that it just won't make good YouTube viewing, so I don't care as much.
If you think, I'm curious if anyone who's recorded the Vive has actually put a camera stabilization on it.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of messy to have stabilization on it, because it's like every static shot is wobbling. Camera stabilization isn't really good for fixing that.
Yeah, you'd be better off stabilizing your own head instead when you're recording it.
Yeah. Well, even then,
applying some sort of brace to your neck,
or whatever the fuck that Metal Gear Solid thing's called.
Yeah, just kind of attach a brace between your chest and your head, so it's always stable, and you can only rotate it on a perfectly plain level. That would
camera
work.
stabilization, or digital camera stabilization.
No, head stabilization. Head stabilization.
I know, but digital camera stabilization on a Vive footage might help enough to get rid of the main issue with it. It might make it watchable. It might not fix it completely, but it might make it watchable. Is the thing. And I've watched it, and even as not an experience to record, this is something right. This is I think John, you're probably most guilty of mainly focusing on the recording side.
I am.
And
yes.
I'm very much. I have a lot of games and I play none of them. I like talking about them more than anything. I don't really record stuff, but I like talking about them. The Vive is something that is just for me. It's one of the first gaming things I've bought in several years, which I've just bought for me because it's just so fun.
Yeah, it's exactly what I've done. I didn't even business expense it. I was like, this is for me. Yeah. I'm gonna watch Better Off Ted on a cinema screen. I'm gonna hang around the Enterprise Bridge. Yeah, it's a novelty sort of thing. But I mean, like I've always said, the best thing I've ever done in VR was sitting at a cinema screen, and that was on the Oculus One. But I felt like I was sitting in a cinema screen. I was like, oh, holy shit, this is pretty cool. It's for the lower quality of the image that you're seeing, it's better because there's that sort of experience with it.
Having tried the Vive, Dan, you are going to fucking love the Vive.
I'm very excited.
You are going to fucking love the Vive, and I bet you're going to be really disappointed because I've said you'll love the Vive, and then you'll get it and you won't love it, and I'll hate myself for saying you'll have loved it. But oh my god. I don't get excited for anything gaming anymore. I've just become horrible and cynical from working in the games industry. Just incredibly.
That happens.
Like, even like Fallout 4 and GTA 5 are the only two things I got excited for.
Oh, I get excited about stuff if it takes me by surprise. Like recently, Final Fantasy 15. We can talk about that later.
Well, that's the difference. I mean, anticipation. I mean, not just like.
I mean, like hype.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I get hyped for everything. I was hyped for Dark Souls. Fuck me, I was hyped for Dark Souls.
Yeah, you get hyped because that's your entire thing. But I don't get hyped for fucking anything. I'm terribly cynical. But the Vive, like Fallout 4 and the Vive, and like GTA 5 are like the only things.
Yeah.
And the Vive is something that I'd be willing to like have sex with a pig for, right now. You know, if you said to me, you know, you can have your Vive right now, like a month early, if you'll have sex with a pig, I'd go, you know what?
Can we use the correct term? It's called Cameroning.
I would be willing to Cameroning. I'd be willing to Cameron.
Just Cameron, the verb to Cameron.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to Cameron to get it right now. Like, that's how much I like it.
Would you be willing to be kind of say over and over, call me Dave, while you were doing it, if that was one of the conditions?
Say that makes slapping the pig in the ass, call me Dave!
The money was just resting in my account. The money was just resting in my account.
It's a personal matter. Spang.
Is this one of the latest Vive games? I've stopped following what you're saying.
Oh, God.
Now.
We should totally make that. We should totally just make David Cameron Simulator and just be like a pig fucking simulator.
We should make it as a mod for Democracy 3, but there's just one option. It's just fucking pigs.
Yeah. Let's just do that.
You've got like fuck pigs or fuck poor, and that's like your two options.
Oh god, I'm gonna do that.
That's
I'm gonna learn how to like do something really shit in Unity and give it Vive support, and just you have to spank the pig with the Vive controller and say, "Call me Dave" into your microphone for it to work.
Oh my god!
I'm sure there must be at least one law being broken here. Probably several.
What? Like what?
Bestiality. I'm pretty sure images of bestiality are illegal.
Okay, I won't. Okay, look, I won't actually have you. I won't have a penis in it. I'll just have you thrusting towards the back of the pig.
Okay, so it's just air sex with a pig. Oh, that's fine.
It's
that's
hot coffee.
normal.
It's just hot coffee.
Hog coffee. Sorry. Call it hog coffee.
Hog coffee.
Hog coffee. The David Cameron simulation.
Oh my god!
I'm promising this now. I am so going to do that. I'm going to learn how to fucking use Unity to fucking make.
Okay, we want an update. We want an update. Want every podcast now until it's done.
I'm looking forward to the Kickstarter. Oh god!
I'd back it.
That could actually be the slogan for the game. Oh god. Anyway.
Oh, I'm promising this on Twitter now. Hang on.
Chapter 1. It's a personal matter.
I'm saying it's coming in mid 2016.
Oh
my god. Dear
That's
God.
the best idea. That's the best idea.
Anyway, God, that's 2 hot coffee references in one fucking video. Show me age.
Do you have anything on your list, Dan? Because you haven't taken anything off your list.
I got a lot to talk about. That's why I said 3 hours. Oh, Jesus. Right. What do I want to talk about first?
Don't say you've got a lot to talk about. Say, I don't know.
I quite enjoyed this this headline that I read earlier today, which was... how was it? It was a player finishes Fallout 3 without taking damage.
Oh, piss off.
Fuck off.
That was a news story. I was quite interested.
You know what, John? I won't be impressed until you... I won't be impressed, John, until you YOLO Fallout 4 survival mode. I won't be
That
impressed
is the
until
fucking plan. That's the plan.
Is that YouTube
Fucking-
/ miniature nerd? Is that where we're going?
I wasn't
that,
going to
John,
mention
and I
it.
will
I
be
wasn't going to
impressed.
plug myself.
I know you
at
were going to mention
all.
it, but I kind of,
was
it
not going to
annoys me.
plug.
It annoys me so much that you get all this wonderful press glory, and there's me slugging my guts out to try and make a video that doesn't insult Dark Souls fans, but at the same time does, and I get nothing. Nothing. You young up-and-comer bastards.
My favourite bit is when it's the foreign press, when the German newspapers get involved, and people have to tell me what's going on.
I think John's older than both of us, Dan. How do you mean young up-and-comers?
Yeah, that's
Channel's
true. I
younger than
am.
ours, right?
It's not going to be desperately too long until
Yeah.
I'm 30,
It's-
which is
it's-
very worrying.
His channel's younger than us. That's the important bit.
Yep, 2013. Yay,
Wow.
2013.
Mine hit
It's our
my
third
five.
birthday in May. It's our third birthday
Yeah,
in
and
May.
you know, he is threatening you so much with his like 150,000 subscribers, isn't he, Dan?
172,000.
Oh! You fucking remember it off by heart, you prick.
I'm small enough that I actually do check it, yes. I'm really
Winky
proud.
face.
We've gained 10,000 in the last 2 weeks. For me, that's loads.
You just have to
good.
like pad it and make sure it's still there, you know.
John, for me that'll be loads, to be perfectly honest. I'd quite like 10,000 every 2 weeks. That would be a big fucking tick. Hey,
I
right.
think that's like the second biggest spike in the channel's history, which is nice.
We should. What was the biggest one?
That was just after Fallout 3 Kill Everything finished, and there was the story where like the original headline on it, someone wrote like, person spends like a year killing everyone in Fallout 3, and then lots of news outlets got confused because they thought I was like, you know, if they didn't know much about the game, they thought I was like sitting in front of my computer for a year straight doing this, and they reported me as some sort of maniac loser person who hadn't gone outside for a year because I was so obsessed with the video game. And a German newspaper that I'm told is the equivalent of The Sun called me a roleplay crackpot. I'm told is the best translation. So The Sun in Germany called me a roleplay crackpot for that because they misunderstood what I was doing. But like we gained like
you are a roleplay crackpot.
and then we ended up getting like 7,000 subscribers in one day, many of whom were from Germany. It was brilliant.
Dirty Germans thinking you're a crackpot.
I'd be curious to see how well Hog Coffee goes down in Germany. David Cameron Simulator. Together with Angela Merkel DLC.
Oh god!
I bet-
I've made my
I-
comments about Angela Merkel on an Emma Blackery video, and I'm not gonna say any more than that.
Oh my god! Maybe I should just like have like her as just like like if you put like the Konami code in, it just changes the pig model to her.
So
This
let's
project's getting
talk
more
video
ambitious all the
games.
time. This is getting more ambitious all the time, Matt. You're going to learn
creep,
Unity
he's
so you
falling
can
to
make an
feature
air
creep.
pig fucking simulator where Angela Merkel is the Konami code bonus.
Feature creep gets everyone in the end. Let's talk about one of this something that released in the last 2 weeks. It released like a steaming shite. Roller Coaster Tycoon World is now in early access.
No.
That's out. Anyone played it?
Do we know how well it's sold? Do you have sales figures there by any chance?
Yes, it has sold 1 copy to me.
I mean, Steam. Actually, let's look at Steam
was-
Spy.
Yeah,
It
look,
was
look,
the
look,
top
look at
of
Steam
Steam
Spy.
for quite a while.
Let's get Steam Spy up.
The
Let's see what's
bastards
going
that
on.
bought it.
Roller Tycoon World. It's owned by 51,000 apparently.
That's
players.
quite shite.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not spectacular, really.
For that name, that
Although I did
old
say-
brat that's just.
I did when I was at Res. I had a quick chat with the creative director of Planet Coaster from Frontier, and I said to him, "Well, at least you're not making something shite like," because I mentioned the comparison video to him, and he went, "I said, oh, at least you're not making something shite like Roller Coaster Tycoon World." And he looked at me and he said, "I have no comment on the matter." He walked away. Then he walked away.
Oh, did you upset someone, Matt?
No, he seemed to agree with me, but he didn't want to say he agreed with me.
Roller Coaster Tycoon World is one of the most desperate cash-ins of a brand name I've ever seen. It's just killed the franchise dead. We've had 2 games in a row that have just gone pop. Franchise is awful now. And it's
Pop.
poison and
It
dead.
could do good. Like if it raises awareness of the theme park builder genre, it might get a lot of people interested in the genre
okay.
and sell more copies of Park Attack.
Okay.
And
Look what
otherwise.
happened with look what happened with SimCity and City Skyline.
Yes, exactly.
I have full confidence in Planet Coaster selling well and doing
I'd
well.
like
frankly.
to point out, and this is going to sound weird, but SimCity, the reboot one, is a crap SimCity game, but it's better than City Skyline, which is mostly just a sort of transport game. If you actually want to like simulate a city, then SimCity is better for that. Whereas City Skyline is a lot more decorative and a lot less sort of involved. It's one of those little things where it's like, oh, I really hope this is this. I'm like, oh, no, I hope this is like the SimCity 4 compared to the SimCity reboot with Planet Coaster. That's what.
If I'm a huge fan of SimCity 4, which city builder should I go for? Because I've been replaying 4 recently. I'm fucking in love with it again. So if I prefer SimCity 4, sorry,
stay with it. It doesn't get any better than SimCity 4.
Okay, fine. That was always my opinion too, really.
City Skylines is great. I fucking love it. I think it's one of the best city builders. But it's like. It's more about making something look really pretty and managing.
It's a city builder, not a city simulation.
Yeah, that's what it really is. It is a city builder more than a city simulation. That's what it's.
Well, I think that's fine because I think most people play that to build a nice city as opposed to simulation.
I mean, that's what I always built city builders for. So I'm more on the City Skyline sort of thing. But when it comes to like actually managing a park and putting the detail in, I'm like, yeah, I want the works.
You know what? I totally.
Do you remember like theme park world where you could actually choose like how much salt goes on the chips in every single shop? That's literally the level of detail they went to. Yeah, goddamn, that was good.
You know what I'd buy, right? If you had Democracy 3 combined with City Skylines.
Where you're making fucking huge policies.
Yeah, like actually, but have a physical world with it as well.
Where you can watch it all burn and turn to shit. You know what I found the other day that really fucking pisses me off? Democracy 3 has static populations.
I did watch that video.
You can't no matter what you do, you can't reduce the population. It's static. Except it's really baffling because even if you do everything you can to get the birth rate down and everything, all that happens is the static population shuffles between different classes of people. So like if you get the number of students down, there's just less students and more people that are part of everyone. So it's just you're increasing the number of people who are part of the homogenous blob that don't belong to any other category. It's fucking bullshit. That really pissed me off.
Interesting.
I did like though, John. That
so even if you set up like fucking one-child policies and mandatory sterilizations, you can't get the population down at all. That's so annoying.
And no matter what, even if you for not checking before,
and the most generous child benefits in the world don't increase population in the slightest. Don't touch birth rate. I love democracy. That makes me actively quite pissed off.
So do we think it was built around those things were shuffling around a percentage more than an actual population number?
Well,
I guess so.
It doesn't make sense about the one child policy. So, like, what's the point in the one child policy and that kind of thing if it makes no difference?
Yeah, it just makes everyone hate you and doesn't make any change to your population whatsoever.
Like, what's the actual point in that even being
Nothing.
there?
It's just a waste of a turn. It's a waste of a turn.
Going, oh my god, John is swearing.
John swears. He just never swears in his own videos.
I sometimes edit out the swearing in my own videos. I cut myself out if I swear.
Oh, God,
I've only done that once because I used the word that's worse than cunt. So
what?
The secret swear word. I don't even want to mention it.
Can you direct message me it? Because I want to know what that word is.
Okay, I'll type it in the thing.
Okay.
I'm just going to type it in the thing here.
What the hell is about to happen?
They just don't say this word out loud. I don't have permission to send messages. On the why do I have permission on my fucking server? You absolute... And then put this bleep in there.
Are you putting it in the record? Are you putting it in the server chat, not the actual channel chat?
My bad.
What's happening?
Oh my god!
Don't say what it is. Just yeah. You see what I'm saying though.
Oh,
that's
It's
like Dan. It's great because it's not like racial or sexist in any way, but it is horrifically offensive.
It's the B word.
No. Okay, move on. Move on to something else now. Pretend that never happened.
That's how I would describe Roller Coaster Tycoon World anyway. Let's talk about...
Nice chips, though.
Can we talk about Dark Souls 3?
There's another game that doesn't work properly on PC.
Really?
Apparently there's been a lot of complaints.
I have had no problems whatsoever with it, except for the fact that I have to run it in windowed mode, because in full screen it doesn't work. And I think that's the problem a lot of people are having. I seem to get an extreme version of it. Like, if I put it into full screen, I get literally just 2 FPS.
It's not been a good day for the PC Master Race. Both Quantum Break and Dark Souls 3 have shit themselves.
Yeah, but if I run it in windowed mode, just run it in windowed in 1080p still, so it's just running in a window, it is absolutely fine, and it runs at 60 absolutely everywhere.
That's so weird. That's a really weird.
Yeah, but on the main start screen, it runs absolutely fine, and then when you get to the character creator, when the actual game engine runs up, that's when it tanks. If I'm running it in full screen, but if I go over to the options and then go onto the option, the resolution changing menu and stuff like that, that's when it tanks. In the options menu, it will drop to 2 FPS, even on just the start screen, where it's a black screen with just words on it. It will tank.
That's very odd. That's very odd.
That is a weird bug. But beyond that, as soon as I put it in window mode, it's running fine. So I assume there's something wrong with the full screen mode for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa! I wouldn't have fucking made that.
I have a challenge for you. I have a challenge for you. As someone, and speaking as someone who has never played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, or any of the Dark Souls games whatsoever, sell me on wanting to try Dark Souls as a franchise.
No, don't.
Don't. Okay,
don't.
Well, that's done then.
Like,
okay,
I'm
good.
only enjoying this because I've put so much time into trying to like it. Like, so Dark Souls is a series where I'm surprised anyone liked Demon Souls. Like, because it's so bad at telling you anything. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's the difficulty level. No, a lot of that's just piss poor game design. There's a lot of really poor game design choices.
So you're telling me it's a terrible game?
Series. But you start to learn these quirks because they just keep repeating these quirks. So like Demon Souls, I played and was like, I don't really give a shit. I don't know what this is. It's really hard. I'm not enjoying myself, Blair. Dark Souls 1, I was like, kind of getting out of fuck. That's horrible. Dark Souls 2 was when I got further in. I was like, I kind of get what they're going for here. But then it got to a massive spider field bit. I was like, I'm going to give up now. But I think I know what's going on. I played Bloodborne and gave up quite quickly because it was a bit too creepy. And then Dark Souls 3, it's like the first game when I've gone, I actually know things now. Like, I actually know the entire weapon system.
This sounds more like Stockholm Syndrome than enjoyment.
It is absolutely Stockholm Syndrome. It's absolutely.
What stops you applying this logic to anything? What stops you applying this logic to Superman 64?
Because
and saying,
Dark Souls,
you've learned it. It may be terrible, but you've learned it.
Deep down, Dark Souls 3 is actually a really, 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 really good Castlevania game.
Right.
Because the way Dark Souls works is you sort of travel along a path going from bonfire to bonfire. So when you get to these bonfires and you light them, you can restart that point. If you die, you'll go back to that point. And you forage forward to try and get to the next one. As soon as you got that relief, when you touch it, you can all your health resets and stuff. So you constantly run back to it. But every time you do that, the enemies come back as well. So you have to go forwards and back and forwards and back and forwards and back, and you gradually work your way through. And then you get to a bonfire and it's a relief. But they do great stuff. Like you get to you find a door and you open it, and it's a way to like after battling through an area, but it leads you back to like an old bonfire. But now from that bonfire, you've got a different path you can take. And so then you can split that one off. And so you start like backtracking, but without realizing it, because you're going through new areas. And so it's a hugely superb exploration game that is just really held down by really annoying things. Like, for me, there's some stuff in Dark Souls 2 that I just couldn't get beyond. Like, 'cause that was the first one I really had a proper crack at. And literally in the opening area, there is a thing that makes the game harder. And it doesn't really tell you it's making the game harder, because it kind of says it like flavor text, but it's making the game way harder. And I had no fucking clue. And when I was going through Dark Souls, I was like, this is... Like, people said it was hard, but this is, like, really hard. It's because I joined, like, the covenant of, this is really fucking hard. Which...
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. But I kind of,
I wouldn't have joined that covenant. I'd have joined the covenant of wuss piss crybabies over there.
Oh, I'm definitely in that covenant in Dark Souls 3. It's the covenant of playing it offline. But no, it's sort of... So now I'm sort of into it. I want to go back, now I've done 3, and go back and play the rest. Now I sort of know its language, because it talks its own language. Like, the weapons, the way leveling up works, I finally understand. I finally understand how all the weapons are graded, how that affects the little plus number, how that affects your character, which stats in your character affects those things, and how it all ties together, and I ignore it and get, like, raw weapons that just do massive damage, and you don't have to care about those things, because I play as a sorcerer, because I like magic. I also understand the fact now that there's no such thing as an exploit, it's all playing Dark Souls, so as I was telling everyone yesterday, you can ramp off this tree and jump, in this, and it will take, like, a fair few... goes to get it right, but if you can get it right, you can get to like this place that you're supposed to spend a lot of time getting to, and then you get like special items earlier on in the game, and all these weird little exploits and things that you try and push against the game. It is a fight. It's like the whole time you play, it's an absolute fight. But the exploration element and the what's around this corner element, because the game looks absolutely gorgeous. It's the what's around this corner is what's keeping me going. I don't give a fuck about the plot. The plot doesn't give a fuck about the plot. Nothing important will happen. It'll be just some random shit that won't mean anything. I don't even know how it ties into all the other games. I never will know. But it's that what's going to be next? What's the thing that's next around this corner that's going to murder me viciously?
I struggle with games if I don't have context. I need some form of context for what I'm doing. Otherwise, I struggle to get into games.
You do have a context. You have to like go and murder these big lords to fill this thing up. There is actually in Dark Souls 2. I had like this lady's like, yeah, you should probably get the souls or whatever. But in 3, you're in a throne room that's got like these empty seats, and it's like, go fuck these guys up. And that's like, so you have the goal, and every time you go back to the level up place, you have a goal, and it's fucking there all the time. So that's much better. So you actually have that progress, but the actual like, what's going to happen if I do that? I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing that because I want to. So there's absolutely that's what you're aiming at. You've got this goal. You're achieving this goal by throwing your face into concrete 15,000 times over and over again. And now it's enjoyable. But I will say that if you actually want to enjoy Dark Souls 3 and you've never played 1 before, go play 1 and give up after about 20 minutes. Play 2 and try and struggle through it for a while, and give yourself months gap between these, and then come on to 3. That's the only way I've managed to enjoy it. Or, you can just enjoy the RPG, in which case, there.
You're right, you seem to have a lot of thoughts there.
I do, because I've actually been really enjoying it. And it's the first... I mean, when I killed... There was like that dragon in the video where I sort of end, a big dragon just turns up and then like butchers me. I killed that by magicking it from a place where it couldn't hit me. And it's just like the most... Like, I don't even know if that's the time I was supposed to kill something. And every time you do that, it feels like a victory against the game. And it feels like it's just a constant fight against the game. And I like that. And I like the exploration in it. And I don't really care for the weapons and shit, because I'm all like, is this better? Yes, no. Right, no, I'll sell it. I like the hidden areas. I like the detail and the depth that the game has, and I really like the combat system. Now, as much as I started with a sorcerer character, I've put a lot into strength and stuff, so I've got sort of I've got like a jack of all trades where I'm good at like close combat with a quite a light sword and quite a light character, and also I've got some magic to help me out, so I'm not going to be like max magic or max that. I'm sort of playing in between. But unlike other Dark Souls, you don't have to like
oh
play
my god!
One of many classes. Sorry, Matt, I'm trying to give some informative commentary on a game you're too dumb to play, bitch! Oh god, the fanboyness is seeping out of me.
No, right, Dark Souls
Get good, Matt, get good!
No, that's not what I don't like about the Dark Souls community. Because the Dark Souls community seem to treat, like you've said there, Dan, that Dark Souls is a badly designed game that can be very much enjoyed. And I think this is a key thing. I think some of the things that people most enjoy in the world are badly made or badly designed. Inherently. Fallout New Vegas is probably my favourite game of all time, and that's got lots of terrible design decisions in. It's awful in a lot of ways. And a lot of really terrible movies of people's...
Them's fighting words.
Hey guys, don't fall out.
Oh! Then we'd need another third person to be on the podcast. That was a bread pun. We'll just go back to the bread.
Bread.
Oh shit, that feels like so long ago. But well done for
Baguette, you glad I didn't say banana.
Well done. Oh my god. I was going to say, well done for remembering a toast to you, but fuck it.
Ah.
Yeah, fuck off.
Matt, talk about Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, right. So, but a lot of
yeah, Matt, why don't you just granary?
Oh my god, shut up, John.
What the fuck was that?
Take your bread puns.
It makes sense.
Fuck off.
I know.
Just, okay, so... Dark Souls, the problem with a lot of Dark Souls fans that I have is that they don't acknowledge the fact that Dark Souls is inherently a badly designed game. That's what, because the whole point of Dark Souls, that a lot of people say, is the difficulty.
Yeah.
But a lot of the difficulty is caused by the bad design more than anything.
No. So there's 2 types of difficulty in Dark Souls. There is the fact that you actually need to pay quite a lot of attention to the combat and roll at the right times, attack at the right times, and that's the genuine difficulty, and that's the bit that's good, and that's the good difficulty. And then there's the we hate new players difficulty.
That's my
and that
problem.
is what causes the elitism in the Dark Souls fanbase.
That's exactly what I mean. But a lot of people don't seem to acknowledge the fact that is just bad game design inherently.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know a lot of people were complaining about the fact that, who makes... What's the studio that makes Dark Souls called?
From Software.
I thought it was Bandai Namco, wasn't it?
It's From Software.
Yeah, they're the publisher.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, From Software, right. A lot of people said about From Software that, they wanted to make it a bit more friendly to new players.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly reasonable. And a lot of people got really pissed off at that because, you're making it easier and fuck off. Just fuck off. Just
can I
fuck
actually
you.
list some of the changes I believe that have gone on in this series so far, from what I can remember? Like, so in this new one, like in older games, sorry, you couldn't buy or sell things in shops until much later on in the game. You couldn't travel, like fast travel or anything like that. There's a whole bunch of things that are like leveling up. Like Dark Souls 2 has the worst level up system in the world. Dark Souls 3 has the same level up system, but it's like you have to talk to a lady. In Dark Souls 2, you have to talk to a lady who's off by a tree.
Lady! Oh,
There's a lady who's standing by a tree, just slightly off the beaten path. And you have to talk to her, and she'll say a thing, and nothing will happen. And you talk to her, and she'll say a thing, and nothing will happen. And you'll talk to her, and she'll say a thing, and nothing will happen. And you'll talk to her, and then she unlocks leveling up for you.
Yeah, I heard about this, yeah.
Yeah,
impressive.
and I didn't find that till like 10, 15 hours in, and I was like, this game is... And I'm in like fucking extreme hard mode. Also, in Dark Souls 2, like the area that is the first area, you have to go into the main area, and then literally do like a 180-degree turn, and just go down this little thing to get to the first area. I went straight on, I ended up in a fucking far, far later area of the game, battling these giant monster things. I was like, I don't know what's going on, it's so difficult, but I was on hard mode in the wrong area, and I couldn't find the fucking level up lady. Who's just... Fuck that thing. Because, yeah, you have to talk to her like 4 times before she unlocks it. In Dark Souls 3, you still have to talk to her, I think it's twice to unlock it. It might actually have been first time. But when you go into this big hall of thrones and here's the plot, she's in the middle. She's there like, I'm next to the bonfire, you should probably talk to me. Oh, I'm the level up lady. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. We'll talk to you then. And that's just, it's those little bits like, that's not making the game easier for new players, that's making the game less shit.
Yeah,
And that's the things that this game brought over.
But there's an inherent elitism by people about that, and I think it really pisses me off, because I think a lot of people aren't very objective about this kind of thing, and I think it's important to be objective about game design inherently, because you can still like something and appreciate that, you know, you think it's better because of these problems. Fine, but you have to acknowledge the problems are there at the very least. That's all I give a shit about. And people are often so fucking blind to the shit they like that they won't acknowledge it has a problem.
Yeah.
And it's just such a big problem in Dark Souls community.
It's because they've learnt it. It's because, like I said, when you get to the level up lady, if you know the level up lady's there, you go, there's a level up lady, I'll just go talk to her and do the thing and then stuff. Because remember that a lot of people, when they play Dark Souls, they'll go, oh, I'm stuck, I'll reference a guide. When I'm playing through the press copy, I'm like, I haven't got a fucking clue.
Oh, I had this problem with Fallout 4.
But that's what I was that's what I was really worried about. I was really worried about that for Dark Souls 3. I was like, there's going to be bits where I just get stuck and I'm going to hate this game. Not once did I get stuck so far. I haven't actually finished it yet. But I've not got stuck. I've not needed to walk through. One bit pissed me off, and that's that you have to put this sword in the bonfire right at the start, and I've mentioned this in my video, but you can only do it from this, like, fucking 10-degree access angle. And then everywhere else it doesn't mention it. To be 20 fucking minutes to find. I'm like, that is the sort of shitty design that is sort of rampant through these games, but you get used to a lot of it.
They're quirks.
They're big, shitty quirks.
Well, it's, going back to Fallout again, because, Fallout New Vegas' stealth system is terrible, right? It is.
Hang on, wait, let me check. John, is that correct?
What do you mean by terrible? It's not overpowered like it is in Fallout 4. In Fallout 4, it's too powerful.
Okay, it is shallow, and it is nonsensical.
It's relatively simple. I don't think it's not. Why is it nonsensical?
No, it's nonsensical in the fact that you can be crouched in front of someone and they can't see you.
That's relatively rare. It happens way more in Fallout 4.
Either way, it is not a great stealth system, right?
No, there will be things you could do to improve it.
Very briefly need to interject that the current latest post on the subreddit is, what's the B word? Guys, no one I'm fucking with you. Come on,
it's not that B word. It's not. It's the other.
Have either of you been reading the chat?
No,
yeah,
I've
just
keep
been
an eye on
talking
Twitter
about
instead.
and guessing what the B word is.
That's all they even talk.
I do want to
acknowledge it, but now you have.
God.
Anyway,
yeah, it's British Airways. Well done, Liam Smith. You got it right.
But
I've got this horrible thing, which is I've been kind of thinking at some point I want to actually make a video of Dark Souls, having never played before. It's going to be my most disliked video ever, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, fine.
It's actually taken me this many games to work out how to make a video that Dark Souls fans don't hate.
Oh god.
And that was, I had to be I would say those Dark Souls videos, and this is slightly self-wanky, probably the hardest and cleverest videos to put together. Because I had to make a video that I had to make. I thought if I split the videos into two, And I make one the same for the fans and not for the fans. And for the fans, I do sort of like a self-parody, because I actually know enough about the game now to self-parody it. And then for the non-fans, I just do a standard video. But then also link the jokes and mix them up, but also make it so if you watch one and then the other, either way, it's funny and you get a punchline. It took a fucking lot of work to make those videos work.
I know.
But I liked it. The Dark Souls 3 subreddit, however, only picked up on the for the fans one and then just insulted it for the whole thing. I was like, you just watch the other one, and then you were like, oh, these are all jokes.
Yeah, I think having them both separate made a lot of people watch them out of context.
That is true, but I made sure that they actually were their own context. I made sure that by themselves they were. You could watch one and go, "Hey, that was either a parody of Dark Souls fans, or that was just a standard sort of Nerd³ comedy video." But when you watch both, you go, "Oh shit, that was actually something." Like there's like in the Dark Souls, like for the non-fans, there's like a bell rings, it's panning through the graveyard. I go, "Oh, it's a horrible place to have a wedding." But then for the Dark Souls fans, when the bell rings, it's panning through the graveyard. I go, "Oh, what a lovely place for a wedding," and just that back and forth. Like, because I did the non-fans one first, I recorded that and then I just redubbed it for the other one. But it took so long, and I edited out all the deaths and stuff.
God, can
that
you
video
just
took
call
5
days?
days.
Get it over with,
5 fucking days. 5 days to put those videos together. Ouch.
Yeah.
Too fucking long. But I thought they were superb, so it was worth it.
Anyway, Fallout New Vegas stealth system.
Yeah, sorry, that was my slight variation.
Fallout New Vegas stealth system terrible, but I fucking love it. I love how abusable the Fallout stealth system is. Because it's so nonsensical and kind of stupid. But I fucking love it. I love its quirks. I love that I can crouch basically next to someone and shoot someone in the head in front of someone else, and the other person just won't notice. They happen to see. They've just been looking at someone, watch their head explode, and they are none the wiser. That makes no sense.
Yeah, but only if you're using a silenced gun, Matt.
Well, yeah, but even then, that's so ridiculous.
It was silenced. They had no idea it was you. Could have been anyone.
Yeah. Oh, but like, I love it. I love the quirk. That's one of the things that makes me love that game. I love that. But that's a terrible. That's a shit stealth system. And I'm fine with it, but I can acknowledge that it's not very good. I think that's the key with Dark Souls fans and inherent a lot of the
Dark Souls is flawless for a lot of people, but it's mostly because of the fucking effort you have to put into it.
Oh yeah,
it takes a lot of effort. I mean, it's a strange one because I wander around it and I'm like, I actually know what I'm doing now, and I'm doing this, and everything's going well. And then like a big slug thing will just come out the corner and just kill you in one hit. And you're like, I know nothing. Nothing I've ever learnt is...
It's constantly...
It's Stockholm. It literally is Stockholm Syndrome. And the reaction to it by the fan things is literally just Stockholm Syndrome. But it's a good game.
Maybe the same thing's kind of happening with Fallout 4 Survival Mode. Because that I'm only enjoying because I know Fallout so well. And I have noticed, like, the people into Fallout... people who are into survival mode are way more like aggressive and critical about their perfect tactics and the right build than I've ever seen before in the Fallout community.
But I think that mode is made for that person. It's not like it's an optional thing. It's not like Dark Souls where that is the whole game. It is made for the people who want the challenge. You know, it's made for the people
I think the new survival mode is effectively just the Dark Souls mode for Fallout, kind of. Yeah, I guess maybe that's my Dark Souls.
For me, I wasn't going to replay the game. And I'm probably going to replay it in survival mode purely because it's going to offer me a different challenge.
It completely changes it. It's really different.
I'm not going to play survival mode because I don't think the actual survival mechanics are up there, and the ones they're listing, I'm like, that's not survival enough.
Well, they are changing it. It's still in beta. They are changing stuff still.
Yeah.
Maybe did that Workshop DLC just come out?
Yep.
Yes.
Maybe that'll actually give me some reason to actually go back to the home in that game.
It's fun. I think it's fun and it's interesting. Like, there's been a lot of people who are saying it's got quite a poor rating on Steam right now because loads of people are saying, well, people have already sort of modded this sort of stuff, so why exactly is this paid for DLC?
Like
I think that's a bit unfair.
Was it Hearthstone? What was it?
Hearthstone in Skyrim. I think it's better than Hearthstone was in Skyrim. I think it's a bit harsh, but kind of modding has kind of spoilt some people.
It's not better than Hearthstone. Hearthstone had fucking houses.
Yeah, but they were kind of shit houses that were all boring and uninteresting.
We went from previously no houses to modular houses.
That's infinite percent increase in houses.
Yeah, and in Fallout 4, this is like, there are new lights.
No, there's new houses. You actually no. In Fallout 4, you can now actually build a house. You used to just be able to build a fucking shack. Now you can build a proper house out of concrete. Like you're the fucking third pig who knew the wolf was coming.
No, fuck the concrete.
You fucking know that wolf's coming, and you've built a fucking bunker.
Okay, on that note, though, do the wolves actually turn up? Do you actually get attacked yet?
No.
If you imprison thing, their friends show up to try and rescue you, so it massively increases the chance you're being attacked. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm gonna imprison all the death claws, and I'm like, fucking.
If you imprison a super mutant, his friends fucking come to try and get him.
Half fire, not half stone. Half stone was the card game.
But like, okay, so it adds light, right?
Yeah,
and it adds
A lot of light.
Things.
There's a fucking load of lights. Loads of lights.
It's the fucking B&Q light section DLC. But
you say that like it's a bad thing. I love the B&Q light section.
It's
I do
great.
as well.
But no, I got right. I went into it before to mess around with it because I'm actually building a settlement in my PC version. I never do it in the console version because fuck the console. Fuck doing that on a controller.
Yep. As someone
but
did that on
I
a
did
controller. Yep.
I did it on the PC one, and I went to build a concrete house, and I gave it nice round corners, and then I went up to the second floor, and then I realised there were no round roofs, and then I gave up.
We just use a round floor in place of a roof. Just use the round floor as the roof. In Fallout, when you're building any building, you use the floor as a roof because it snaps better.
Yeah, but then there's a gap. There's a fucking
gap.
There's
a gap if you use the roof. The roof creates a gap. If you use the upper floor tiles, where it's got both a ceiling and a floor component, then then there's no gap. That gets rid of the gap.
Yeah, but there isn't a round upper floor. There's just a square upper floor, and there's no small square upper floors either. So if you make a small square bottom and you do these little things, then you can't fucking do anything if you go any floors up.
There might still be some very small gaps, but there's less gaps than there used to be. It's way more solid than it used to be.
But it annoys me because it goes, oh, look at all these things you can do at the bottom floor, and then you're fucked if you want to go up.
Right, this is the big question. This is the big sell question. Have they actually added indoor door frames yet?
Yes.
Indoor
there are
door
powered
frames.
doors as well that you can
Powered doors are
lock
good.
as well.
They're cool. Then you can lock down a settlement, which is really cool.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
finally, because that was the most annoying fucking thing doing that Fallout series.
No.
How do we do
No,
doors?
they've solved a more annoying problem. There's now a quite small generator that generates 100 power, so you don't have to have a bajillion
It doesn't
windmill
make noise
or large
either.
generators.
It's very
quiet,
low,
it's small, it's quite
I have to
aesthetically
put
pleasing.
Fallout up again.
So you can actually like power all these new lights off like a single generator, and it's really good.
That's
I didn't
quite
make.
nice.
I went in before and I went to fucking with the cinema one.
Starlight
one.
driving.
Yeah, Starlight driving, and I turned it into just a big arena with seating.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I put Deathclaw capture and a Radscope in. I haven't captured anything. I'm just sort of leaving it on. Hoping something will catch it, and then I can do fights. I've got a robot making that. I'm going to do robot fights as well. That'll be fun.
That robot annoyed me. I built a robot and it was the worst fucking useless pile of tat in the world.
I was trying to figure out if you can actually do a creature versus creature fight. No, you don't. You just have to turn off the beta wave. You just have to turn off the beta wave emitter, then they would fight each other. Yeah, because if they were on, you have to assign a human to one of the beacons. Then they'll attack any tame creature that they've got eyes on.
You can assign robots to beacons as well.
Yeah, but you can assign any companion or settler to a beacon.
So
then they'd attack the tame creature. But if you just turn off the beta wave emitter, creatures will fight each other. Yes.
See, I really like the robots because I don't really use them as companions. Because I use Curie as like a robot companion and just changed her up because she's a proper AI and proper NPC, so she acts like a proper NPC, a proper companion. Sorry, and has proper dialogue and shit. Like, you know, when you transfer to other companions, she'll make quirks and remarks about them and shit.
You want to have sex with the French robot, don't you, Matt? That's what you're actually getting at
sex
here.
with the French robot.
You can pretend it's all about her AI and her behaviour and her pathing. You just want to put her in a body so you can have sex with her, didn't you, Matt?
Well, no, because I don't do that mission. Because if I do that mission, she's just useless then, isn't she? Currently, she has dual Gatling lasers, and if I put her in a body, she has a pipe pistol. Of course I'm going to leave her in the robot body, aren't I? Fucking. Also, interestingly, Curie's the only companion with a set HP that doesn't change with your level. I found that interesting.
Oh, interesting.
But right, I just like making the robots as slaves. I do what the Institute does. I just make farming robots and like defense robots. I have no one in my. I don't have a recruitment beacon. I have no people. It's just everything's manned by robots.
Matt.
That's so completely resource inefficient. Just acquiring new people through a single beacon would cost you nothing, whereas each robot costs stuff to make.
Yes, but the robots are cool and they glow and they have guns.
You're making them do corn farming. Why do they need guns and glowy parts?
They're
fucking farming corn. Their
Look,
job is
look, okay,
their job is to fucking get
look.
corn out of the ground.
Okay, you know, the corn farming robots, you know what they don't need? They don't need food or water or beds. They just do their job and they don't talk to me
So
and they
you
don't
don't
look
want
at
to
me.
build a settlement, you want to build a robot army.
Yes, and I already did build a robot army, so good fucking luck destroying my settlement, you fucking prick.
Yeah, I'll take it down. I've got a special army.
Creature armies are not a good idea. Creature armies are not a good idea, by the way.
What?
If you build a creature army, you kind of just acquire loads of death claws and have them be part of your settlement. If your settlement gets attacked and the generators get destroyed, that means the beta wave emitters are empowered, and when you show up, all of the death claws are hostile at the same time.
That sounds amazing!
All of a sudden, everything that was tame in your settlement is no longer tame because you've turned off the mind control device.
I want to get a mod that just like makes like you have like a 24-hour battle at your settlement and you're just constantly wearing down like an actual fucking siege. That's what I want to have to deal with.
Like the Brotherhood siege against the castle, but like permanent and with, you know. Yeah, I would like that because I got annoyed that I never got attacked.
Did Just Cause 3 ever bloody get a the war thing is always permanently on mod?
No.
No.
Why did it never get that? Why did no one make that straight away? What?
Annoying. I've tried to get in Just Cause 3 modding and there's nothing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
That
kind of
war bit
surprising.
was one of the coolest fucking things. They've done this twice in Just Cause 3. There's the really cool war bit where everything's just shit's all hitting the fan in various directions. You're like, oh my god, this is incredible. I want this all over my face forever. And you can't just turn it back on or redo that mission ever again.
Yeah.
And then they did
that new fucking DLC...
yeah.
There's no way of replaying the awesome murder things. In the game autosaves, and there's only one save, so you can't actually take that base over again. And that's not being fixed, apparently. That's not being
Can I
patched.
point out something annoying? Well, okay, right. You know what? Rezzed, they had an entire fucking room for that DLC, right?
Uh-huh.
Not just
There
a
was
little
always
room.
at least a third of the computers empty as well. It
Okay,
was not.
that one-
It was not a
okay.
busy room.
Okay, Namco Bandai... Oh, no, fucking... the other way around. They had a tiny room for Dark Souls 3, like 8 computers, maybe, in a small room. Just Cause 3 DLC. This DLC's been out a month, right? It's not pre-release like all the others. It's been out a month. It's a small DLC that's been out a month. That is cool, but it's nothing amazingly significant. They had 40 computers. 40! In a massive room that was bigger than the indie room. They had more computers than the indie room, and the indie room was packed and you couldn't get in, but this fucking room was empty. And they should have split the indie room in half and put it in there, and they fucking got annoyed at them. I was pissed at that. Really annoyed. No one from fucking Avalanche was there. There were no devs. It was just a big marketing stunt for something that just didn't need a marketing stunt, and fucking fuck off, Square Enix. Ah! Sorry. Hold on. You're right.
Everything went quiet for a second. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, there
In
was
lighter
some
news-
static noise, and then everything stopped. One more bit of news, and then we'll have to take a break.
I've got a very small bit of light news that sort of, I don't know why, but this amuses me just the right way. Which is in Rust, which has just gained, it's just kind of revised its character system. Which is, when you start Rust, you get assigned a character.
I had this on my list, actually. Yeah, I had this on my list. It's based on your Steam ID.
And the character, rather than you getting any form of character customization, your character is generated algorithmically out of your Steam ID. So no matter how many times you restart, you will always get the same person, whether that be a different gender or an ethnicity or what have you. It's all generated algorithmically out of your Steam ID. So same Steam account means it will always be exactly the same, even if that person's a different race or gender or whatever. And the interesting thing, and I'm not sure why this amuses me, but it really does, is your genital size is also calculated algorithmically out of your Steam ID. The size, if you happen to draw a male character, or indeed a female character, I believe breast size is the same way, but if you happen to draw a male character, then the length of your penis is determined by your Steam ID, and you can never ever change it. It's just some people are born with lucky Steam IDs and some people are not. And it sums up life beautifully, doesn't it? I love that.
Right? They've argued this point in that, you have, it does sum up, like, you're born into, whatever that is. But it annoys me because it's a fucking game. I want to choose what I want to play as. Fuck off.
I wish there
Are
was
you
an
saying
option.
that you would be upset if you were a black female woman with a flat chest, Matt?
I'd be totally
I
down
would
with
not
being
be-
that.
Because
That's
I'd be
me.
so up for that. I think that would be a really fascinating,
I'm
interesting
bored of the
experiment.
white man.
Yeah.
I would not
Bored.
be upset. But in a video game, I want to be able to choose.
I want to be a
sometimes
massive, fat,
No,
black
you see,
person
the
with
problem
no
is-
clear external genitalia, with a penis so small no one can tell whether I'm a man or a woman. That's what I want out
Nickname
of Rust.
No,
Ant-Man.
that's all.
Yeah,
No,
precisely.
but this is all well and good. But and Dan says here he's born of the white man. But there's no choice. So you could just come as a white man and you've stuck with him.
But
So
no,
what
you
it's like,
see. I think what that adds is server diversity.
Yeah,
Instead
that's what
of-
they said they want. They want like 50% male and 50%
instead
female.
of seeing, like, looking around and being like, oh, look at other people who look like people who own Xboxes. You just remember the Xbox adverts where everybody was just like into sports and
Yeah.
all their caps on backwards. It's just like that's all you ever see in games. You can create your own character, and now we'll get some actual interesting diversity. I think that's a fun
And
idea.
you cannot judge someone based on decisions they've made for their character. Everyone has to be treated as, I no idea what you actually are hidden behind that. So everyone's got this air of anonymity, so you can't make snap judgment based on people's looks, which is actually quite nice.
Yep.
I think it's nice. I think it's cool.
But there is a downside.
It's
There's a
done.
downside. There is a downside to this whole thing. It's in Rust, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Fuck Rust. No, but it does annoy me because
Well, try loading it up and see how big your penis is. If you happen to have drawn the world's biggest penis, maybe you would change your mind.
No,
and Rust would
I
suddenly
wouldn't.
become really cool.
No, that wouldn't appeal to me. Mm-hmm. A floor dragger, not my thing.
Someone says I'm against diversity. No, I'm against forced diversity in a game where I want to be able to choose what to play. Fuck yeah.
I hate how in video games they have stories for characters and characters. I wish I could choose. I wish I could choose to be like some sort of Latino woman instead of Trevor in GTA 5.
Just play Saints Row. You can be whatever the fuck you want.
No, that's not what I mean.
You know
It's
what's weird
not-
about Saints Row is that in Saints Row 2, I've connected to my character in Saints Row 2 more than I've connected to any GTA character. My
Yeah.
Cockney, blue dreadlocked giant bloke.
No,
I'm
but
just
this
like,
is the
yeah, I
thing.
like him.
But this is the thing, though. Like, forced characters are fine if there's a reason, but it's not a game where there's any story. It is just an open world, basically RPG, free roam thing, MMO, whatever.
It's an RPG.
And-
Fucking roleplay. Roleplay what you
Yeah,
get.
Yeah, roleplay as a man with a micro penis, Matt.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
Matt.
but you know the way.
Enjoy
okay,
love the micro penis, Matt.
Yeah, but Matt
Okay,
wants to escape
John.
from reality. Is the problem?
Oh,
Hey!
Okay, John,
Tiny
you've played
finisher.
Fallout 4 a lot, have you not? Right? You've
Uh-huh.
played Fallout 4 a lot. With every
Matt's
Fallout
just
4
granary.
Yo, no, think about it. Right, for your main Fallout 4 character, you did the standard female. For your melee Fallout character, you did the really muscular female. Then your Survive 1, you've done the male. You change and you vary and you change with everyone. You roleplay a different character with everyone. You can't do that when you're forced to be the same person every time.
Can I
Stop
point
being
out-
so brioche, Matt.
Oh my god.
What?
That didn't make a bagel of sense.
Shut up.
I like whenever I design a character in a game, I'm like, all right, I'll choose the hair, I'll choose the hair color, and then I'll hit random to do the rest because I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I pretty much always cross-dress in Fallout. The women are always wearing the suits and the men are always wearing the dresses.
It's just
No,
fun.
honestly, I'm fine with the random generation. I'm just not fine with the random generation being exactly the same every time and you can never change what character you are. I don't like being the same. No matter how many times you want to replay it or you want to play as a different character, you can't. It doesn't just randomly generate you, it randomly generates you once.
But with
I don't
Rust,
like
it's
that.
very much a game where you sort of build from the bottom and then go up, and then that's sort of it.
Yeah.
But I like that. People
Yeah.
get attached to their characters. I think that could actually develop stories and interesting things.
Yeah, that's what I like about it too. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's
Fuck
an
Ross,
interesting
that's
idea.
shit.
I haven't played it. It sounds like Ark, but without dinosaurs. So
This has
that
actually
sounds
made me
boring.
kind of want to try Rust for the first time
Don't
ever.
Try Rust. It's
Why has
It
nobody
is-
made a
it's-
crust joke yet? Oh my god.
Oh no! We missed one that actually worked.
So, Hitman. I think we should talk
Yeah.
a little bit about Hitman.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah, we were saying that. Yeah, go on. Get it
Yes, as part of a wider thing potentially.
I've done a video on it. It'll be up today. I don't fucking remember. I did it was quite a fun video. The best bit about the video is the title, which is The French Disconnection. Proud. Never been more proud in my life of a joke. But it contains what appears to be really vicious, always online DRM.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is getting
Yes and no.
unfortunately common.
You say yes and no, but it seems to, if you play it offline, not really save progress.
No, offline you cannot progress in the story. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say yes and no. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying technically you can play it offline, but it's basically. I mean, you shouldn't. No. You
Yeah.
should be able to progress offline. I think they're doing it as like a form of like to stop people cheating to get the stuff, but why?
Yeah, I'm not sure that really matters for a single player experience.
Has anybody here ever, and this goes to the Twitch chat as well, has anybody ever given the fuck about a leaderboard?
Me and Matt once got competitive about one leaderboard in Just Cause 3.
Well, this is an interesting thing because Just Cause 3 did leaderboards fine. I think.
Yeah, it did
I
it
think,
quite
I
well.
thought it was
Because
I
you were
thought it was a
battling
little
against
intrusive when
mates,
disconnected.
really. Like,
Yeah,
who gives
but
a
I
shit
thought
if
it was
someone
a
hacks to the top of that?
Let's not go crazy. I wouldn't call Matt that.
But even then, I thought it was a little intrusive like when you disconnected, it was a bit intrusive. But regardless,
It was slow, was what it was. Fucking
Yeah, but
slow to try and
regardless,
reconnect.
if you were offline, the game still worked
Yeah, it
as
just
intended.
worked, yes.
But Hitman has no reason to do that, and I share your sentiment, Dan, about the I was about 3 quarters, because depending on how you play it, you can be doing the one mission for an hour.
Yeah.
You can be playing that.
Is there a way to
Mission
save
for an
in game?
hour.
I could not find
Yeah,
it.
you constantly. You can.
Yeah.
There's infinite manual
save
saves
it at
and
any
it
point.
auto saves. It's auto saves on a semi-regular basis.
Okay, I literally couldn't find that, and it literally wasn't auto-saving, because every time I died, I was sent back to the start when I was playing it, and it was bugging the fuck out of me, and I couldn't work out how to save.
It's because it's one of these bloody games where, thanks to, I think I blame the PS4 controller for this, because there's too many fucking buttons in the middle of the PS4 controller. Now every game has 2 separate pause menus: the game pause menu and the save file related pause menu where the settings live and the load and saves are, and then the game stuff is in a separate. Why can't they just live in one pause menu? Why do we have to? Why do we have to fucking make allowances for this fucking stupid pointless button in the middle of a PS4 controller?
I was playing it on the Xbox controller, which meant that I had pause, which would just give me like a little bit of the briefing of the mission, and then select, which would give me the map, and I couldn't find saving in either of those.
I think it's in somewhere in the select options.
So there's another what? But I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, no, it's a mess, right? And I just.
But it wasn't auto-saving at all.
Mine was
usually start the
auto-saving on a
mission
regular
start
basis.
every single time.
I think it does autosave, but you have to specifically try.
Yeah, you have to actually go and find the autosave in the load system and load that up, which is because the autosaves live in a separate tab to the manual saves.
It's really not.
Right.
I don't get it because the game itself. I mean, I know you don't really like it, Dan, but it's well made. I think as
It's
a game.
good.
I would disagree severely.
I know you don't like it, but you actually think it's badly made.
I think it's not a great game. And I think it's not a great
that's
game
fine.
because Hitman was great in the PS2 era because it sort of played to the PS2 era things. Like, it's very Groundhog Day. Like, 47 does fucking omnipotent shit. If you're just watching, like, his end run, you're like, how the fuck did he need to do any of this? Because you fucked up before you learn it. But with the PS4 and, like, the heightened graphics and the fucking realism and stuff, it starts being really weird. Like, I'm setting a trap for a guy. I'm like, why am I setting this trap? Oh, because he's going to get a phone call. And he's going to talk to a lady, and then he gets a call, and so he walks over here, and there's a puddle, and I can zap people in that puddle. Okay, why are you doing that? Because you don't know he's going to talk to that lady, and that lady's going to make him do the call. That's not a thing that you know as the character. And it started to break down, because I felt very robotic, because he was just doing his circles and stuff. Like, the game doesn't play unless you get close to the bits. Like, that guy doesn't walk down the stairs until you walk through the doors. In the boat level, the guy wouldn't move from any of his places until you actually, like, went to those bits. So
he does start going down the stairs if you go around the side of the mansion. He kind of does start to loop eventually if you get too close to him.
Yeah, but I wish it was more sort of based around a time thing. Like, you could even stick like a timer, because the party goes on for seemingly ever. I assume you could just sit there and live there forever. But wouldn't it be a nice, modern, next-gen upgrade actually have a time limit that changes based on your difficulty levels to how long the party starts?
There kind of is. The fashion show itself is on a timer, which is it begins at a certain point, runs for a certain amount of time, he comes out onto the stage, and then that's it. The fashion show's done, and it will never repeat, and he'll never go on the stage again.
But everybody just hangs around there anyway.
Yeah, there's an open bar.
But they hang around. No, they hang around the fashion show bit where there's nothing.
Yeah. And also, I noticed the whole fireworks thing. It's like, oh, he's going to do the fireworks. He never does the fireworks. That never happens just naturally.
Yeah.
And you see, I understand your complaints because you want it to be a more natural thing. And as someone, I didn't play Blood Money, and as I said about Fallout, I like abusable stealth systems. I like that kind of thing. I like the robotic nature of it because that's just how I play stuff. But even though inherent, like it's a like even if you don't like the design of it, it's well developed. It's a well made thing, isn't it?
No, again, I disagree.
Why?
I think it's solid. I think it's solid
about it.
Well, the fact it's one fucking episode.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
my favorite thing about Blood Money is that between missions, the police were hunting you the fuck down. Like, so if you got caught on CCTV, you'd have to then in that mission go and find the tape. And then you'd have to destroy the tape. Or you could try and go round the CCTV. So you got, like, a harder way in and out, or an optional objective. And so you had to sort of try and find balances. Or you could ignore it. Yeah, but I don't feel like anything is going to happen between this episode and the next one, because it's not fucking there.
No, I agree.
The game isn't there yet.
No, I understand.
And the fact
that,
is, it's one level. And you play it in... You can get through it in about... like an hour, you'll be done with getting it, and then it's like, oh, but you get 1,000 more things in here. I'm like, well, I've done the thing. That's the thing.
Dan, ignore the fact it's one level. Treat it right. Purely from an objective, like development. Ignore the business model. Ignore the business model. Just for now, ignore the business model in the DRM, and you can say that the game in itself, the level in itself, and the way the level is made, and the way the AI is done is
bad.
Well made.
No,
I hate you.
No, it's not bad.
I think it's good. The AI is nice. It's big. There's the number of ways you can do the mission is the same number of ways you'd find in 3 or 4 Blood Money missions.
It's too big. The level's too big. It's too big and it's too boring. There's a lot of stuff going on, and very little of it actually ties into any of it.
Because this is the interesting thing that they've tried to do with it. I think one of the reasons they made the level so big and a lot of stuff going on.
Is so you play it a bajillion times.
Well, no, because you can take a lot of other contracts to kill other people in the level, and that's what I did a lot. I killed a lot of other people, and that completely changes what you're doing.
Yeah, but I have no interest in doing that, because coming from a Hitman fan, what I want to see is somewhere between 10 to 15 really interesting levels that I play through each of them once, and then I'm done. And that's what Hitman has always been. And this one is, here's a level with you can kill 15 guys in it, but once I've learnt the rhythm of the level, I'm done. That's it. I want to go to the next one, and there isn't a next one.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. I think the business model is terrible.
Yeah.
And I hate episodic stuff. Episodic stuff, I kind of, they started doing it Telltale with probably the big fucking forerunners of it. Then Square Enix dipped into it, fucking Life is Strange. They saw how successful that was.
Final Fantasy 7 remakes dipping the fuck into it in 3 separate full-price games.
Well, because it annoys me, because it's early access, but hidden with a veil of fucking... It's kind of, they're trying to excuse it. Ooh, it's episodic. It's not early access. No, it's episodic.
Yeah.
No. It's Toll Biscuit said this in the idea that Hitman comes out, right? And it's a game I like, so I will play it. But for most games, if a game comes out in episodic, if episode 1 comes out and I play it and I go, okay, that was okay, I won't care by the time episode 2 comes out. Something else will be out.
Yeah.
I don't have time to care about a single game for a year straight.
Yeah. It's the thing of Destiny's got no expansion. I'm like, oh my god, why would you care? Unless you're playing it every day, and in which case, Jesus Christ, you're the most boring people on the planet.
Destiny's terrible. But
it's our weekly Destiny's terrible thing.
Ooh.
Oh, hello, sound test, 1, 2. Matt fucked up. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I think actually at this point I want to make a public service announcement, which is in the same way, actually worse than Hitman. Battleborn, for those people who don't know, is going to be always online. It's going to require a persistent connection, including for all single-player options. Single player will be completely unplayable unless you are always online and need a persistent connection, and by the sounds of it, will kick you out if you don't. So Battleborn's going down that route too.
No, because honestly, right, in the short term, it doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, it does, but I mean, for the short term, most people have online connections, and usually they work. Okay.
Oh my god, Battleborn is not the game I thought it was. I just went on the Steam page for it. What the fuck is this?
Did you think you were getting confused with Out whatever?
With what?
Out. There's another game which people confusing Battleborn with
Outcast, Outlier.
Confusing the two.
Overcast.
Overwatch.
Yes, not Overcast.
Yeah.
That's a slightly grey weather condition.
Oh, they are just two things.
They're two different games. Yeah.
Okay.
Remarkably.
Wow, I literally had no idea. I thought.
Which is the one with the woman with the arse that's no longer the sexual arse? It's the cheeky arse.
Yeah, that's the cheeky arse.
The cheeky arse.
They're very similar. No, but I don't get it, because inherently in the short term it sure has worked. But I mean, I had this problem with Assassin's Creed Unity, which of course, because if the servers don't work, and they just so often don't for big AAA titles, they just don't work properly.
Yeah.
Just Cause 3 proved this with their fucking really simple leaderboard thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking every Assassin's Creed, even the biggest publisher in the world.
That's the first step of it. It's going to get worse because these games are just going to die and we're going to lose them forever.
Well, no,
Today, we lost Fable Legends. That's now gone. That's now going to be unplayable forever. That shutdown day was today. You know what shut down? I think it was either early this year or late last year. Need for Speed World.
Oh my god, he's talking about Need for Speed in this fucking podcast again.
You cannot play Need for Speed World. EA shut that down. And this can really EverQuest Next. That shut down last month.
EverQuest Next
people paid.
Down? Did that even come out?
People had paid $99 for alpha access to that, and they got to play it for like a couple of months. Then they just shut it the hell down, having taken the $99 off a whole bunch of people. Moonrise was a game almost no one's heard of, but that was a game that was like free to play, and loads of people put tons of money into it, microtransactions. Then they just said, fuck it, we'll just shut it down. And these games now have like terrible ratings on Steam because they took a lot of people's money and then never even made it out of alpha, and now they're completely unplayable. Even people who paid loads of money can't even play them just offline single player anymore because they're dead, because the servers are dead. We're losing we're losing pieces of our medium forever.
I don't know if any of you watch LGR, Laser Game Reviews.
No.
He's a big collector of big box PC games.
Uh-huh.
Like, he loves collecting physical. Yeah, he has like a whole fucking. He's like to him. They are his Lego to you. Like Lego to you is big box PC game. He has like a basic. He collects loads of vintage PCs. He's a big collector into that, and you can't really do that with any current stuff because A, it's all digital, and B, you just with Hitman. Imagine this new Hitman in 10 years, whatever. You're gonna go back and play it because inherently it's, even though I know you don't like it, Dan, but inherently some people really will like it and will want to go back and play it. A lot of people go back and play 10-year-old games now.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go back and play it, and you're not gonna be able to progress or anything unless they patch it, and I don't think they will.
I don't think
it's just gonna be a case of you'll have to play it offline, and you won't be able to progress.
Here's the real fun, Rob. When Steam shuts down, at some point, you're going to lose hundreds of games, and they're going to just fuck off.
Well, they've said with Steam that they'll make it,
No one has ever said that with Steam. No one has ever said your games are going to be fine, you'll get them patched and be offline. It's never been said.
Well, no, because with Steam, right, you can go offline on Steam and it'll still work for a time period.
A month.
In theory, when Steam shuts down, they'll just make it so that time period is indefinite. I see no reason they wouldn't.
They'd have to get each game individually to say, is that okay with it? And someone... It might just go, no, that's not okay. If they can't contact people, they won't be able to do it because it'll be void of the contract. So it'll only be the people they can actually talk to who say yes, and they'll be the games that you can keep if that's the thing that they do.
Yeah, I mean, that is an inherent issue. This is the issue with digital, I think, as opposed to physical. Because the great thing about a PS2 game now is it doesn't matter. It's offline, it works, you can bring it into a fucking nuclear shelter and play it when the world ends.
Yep.
You can't with this stuff. I mean, I'm sure I could bring my PC into a nuclear bunker and I have all my games downloaded, but in a month's time, a month into the nuclear apocalypse, I can't play any of them anymore. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
On the plus side, you will still be able to play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which doesn't have servers that relies on. Huh?
The original. The
2010 version of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Yeah. That one will still work. That one's not dependent on servers.
Well, that doesn't make a difference because the Steam servers, the Steam activation.
Not if you've got the hard copy of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, or Shift 2 Unleashed, or Need for Speed The Run.
But funnily enough, John, I do not have the hard copy of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PC.
I do.
Have the hard Oh, fuck off. I have about 3 hard copies of games on PC.
I like CX. I get to buy crappy games for really no money.
I've got a Need for Speed shelf. It's nothing but Need for Speed hard copies, just in case.
Why do you like Need for Speed so much? What is wrong with you?
Everything.
I don't know. It's good. It's a good film.
Right. Speaking of Hitman.
Yes.
The main problem I have with it is it hasn't changed in 10 years, even slightly.
No. They changed it to Absolution, and everyone said boo. So they changed it back.
Yeah, because they made it into a third-person shooter that was linear. And when you got to your target, he hit you around the head and fucked off in a cutscene.
They changed it in the wrong way.
Yeah,
Yes,
in
they've
this one,
changed it back,
changed it
and everyone's
back,
and
but I'm
most
like,
people are
all right,
fine with
you've
it.
had 10 years to work on this, and what you've got is pretty much exactly what we had, but shinier. But it looks worse. The fact it's prettier makes it worse because the crowd don't react to fuck all. There's so many people around in that game, and none of them react to anything. Like, if you fire a gun, like in the video, literally, I walk in, I see the guy coming downstairs, I'm like, shoot him in the face. Spoilers, but I'm going to do that thing. That guy gets massively just shot in the face. It's hilarious. We all have a laugh. He falls down. The bodyguard starts shooting me. The rest of the crowd sort of turn around and go, ooh. Nobody pelts out screaming. Nobody's like, oh my god. Nobody tries to tackle me. There's nothing else happens. They just sort of turn around and put their hands out and go, ooh.
Everyone
They
feels
do
like
have a
programmed
pile out
robot.
animation. I think you just need to trigger a general alarm for it to happen.
Yeah,
This is the
everyone
problem,
feels... Yeah, it feels like there's a whole bunch of robots. I'm following a robot round this loop until I find the moment when I can take him out. He's surrounded by robots. Everything is robots. Nothing really feels particularly real about it.
You know the
and in the
training
PS2, this felt fine because the PS2, that's like the fact you actually could have that many people on the screen was like holy shit. Like that was pushing boundaries to get to that point. That was pushing boundaries. But now I'm like, this game doesn't feel like anything's happening at all.
They were all actually there, by the way. The original consoles could render all those people in Murder of Crows, in Blood Money. Because if you murdered them all, their corpses just actually piled up. The console was just able to handle it.
Yes, because they couldn't react in any other route. Like, you shoot them, and a few of them would, like, run away and put their hands over their head and stuff. But they wouldn't really react in many ways. They had, like, they would just bumble the fuck around. They
had nowhere to go, though. They've no fleeing the level animation, so you can just slowly kill every single one of them with a knife.
Yes, you can.
I did. It took 3.5 hours.
But, like, this is it. Like, if you...
There was a carpet of dead people.
It does. It just feel like you're just following a little programmed AI around. And in the training missions, you can actually play that off as canon because they all literally act as following a script.
Yes.
Though it's a bit confusing because sometimes they kind of... How do they know whether their drink's been poisoned or not?
I don't know.
And how do they know whether they're being knocked unconscious or killed?
I don't know. It has a lot of weird holes in it. Oh, how about the people that I, like, literally crush during that mission?
Or the person you blast into space. What about the person we blasted into space? Was he using stunt gravity?
Yeah, when you like push a button and detonate a bomb and the guy gets flung off the boat, falls 5 stories and lands neck first onto the concrete. You're like, good acting.
That was stunt concrete.
Okay, let's say that's a dummy, and let's say that when you poison someone, it's actually lemon flavoring, and then when they taste the lemon flavoring, they go, "Oh, this is poison," and they pretend to die. No, but you can play it off as thing. But then in the actual natural level, because I kind of thought when I played when I played the demo, I was playing and going, "Oh, maybe this is why they're so scripted because it's a training level." But then in the actual level, and I'm fine with that. You know, I haven't really played Blood Money. This is my first sort of experience with that, and I can. You know, I understand why you don't like it because you've dealt with it, and John likes it because he likes Blood Money. I like it because that's my kind of stealth. It's different for everyone, but it does feel it's a flaw. They're all robots.
Massively all robots. And the other thing is, it just doesn't the level doesn't feel like a Hitman level. Like we've been to some really fucked up place in the Hitman, like especially in Blood Money. Like one of the early missions, that butch guy, the butcher's pie.
That's Contracts.
Thing. Was that that was Contracts? Fuck, this was as early as Contracts, yeah. And
Contracts is fucked up because Contracts didn't really happen. Contracts is hallucinated by 47. He's misremembering things to be darker than they were. That's why everything's fucked up and full of sexual deviancy, because he's Catholic and has sexual deviancy hang-ups.
Yes, but Blood Money
I love Contracts. It's got the best story in the whole of gaming because it's not told. You have to piece it together, but he's blatantly hallucinating and none of it really happened. Or it happened differently to how he remembers it.
Yeah, it probably happened in a slightly... Although there is some stuff I'm like, oh my god, that was a thing. Like, in that mission where you find the girl, no spoilers there.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, you know, everyone who's been kidnapped, just, you know, it's for some weird sexual kick. And then there's Ghost. It's the only one with canonical ghost. Of course, 47 is misremembering things, so the hotel's literally haunted. You can find a ghost.
That's true.
Because it's all happening in his head. He's misremembering it in a fucked up way because he's on drugs and he's dying.
That's true, but then you go over to Blood Money and you get a level like a Dance with the Devil, and everything starts to go quite strange, because that's the Heaven and Hell party, which pretty much fits with this. You can feed people to sharks in that level.
Yeah, they get bigger as you put more and more people into the tank as well. Not many people know that. If you keep putting NPCs into the tank, the sharks keep getting bigger as they eat them.
Of course you'd fucking know that.
Hilarious.
Of course you would fucking know that.
Best thing.
Yeah, you can just feed them and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's hilarious.
That's the best thing. Oh my god, I want that so much. But yeah, but the levels weren't ever really that big. I mean, my favourite Hitman level is A New Life, which is the
New
witness
Life is
protection
fantastic.
thing. And that is like a house and a little bit of the area around it, like a tiny bit of the street around it. And that I've spent hours trying to get like the perfect things out of, like being this guy, put that guy, feed that guy into the garbage can thing. And there's a lot to do. There's a lot to scat out there, and you learn that level. They're like puzzle levels. A well-designed Hitman level is a puzzle with a singular goal and multiple ways of getting there. But then when you do what they're doing with this new one, it's like there's multiple puzzles with multiple ways of getting there, and it's like I just feel like I could do anything here, and it doesn't really matter at all. There's like, especially the episodic thing just makes me care less, because when Hitman was counting along and it's like silent assassin, silent assassin, silent assassin as you were going between each level, in this fire and just shoot him in the face, it's like, you did okay, but it doesn't feel like that's going to change anything or that matters, because there's not a next level yet.
Well, this is the problem with, I think, all episodic games. And I think at least when you do have a story-based episodic game, it's sort of like TV, and it has sort of a climax, and it has a cliffhanger, and that's kind of what TV does, and they're kind of styling it like TV, and fair enough. But Hitman's a very much a mechanics-based game over a story-based game, and it doesn't work for mechanics-based games. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's
I just looked up the Hitman, the intro pack, as it's called, actually has a score of 76 on Metacritic. I think it's one of the worst Hitman games, possibly not as bad as Absolution.
Yeah, Absolution's got to be scored lower than that, surely.
I don't know, a lot of people really liked it because...
Nobody liked Absolution.
Absolution has higher score.
Show me a person who likes Absolution. I'll show you a person who needs a fucking good stabbing.
Jesus.
Right in the
Calm down,
fucking
John.
taste of sense and common decency.
On PC, the new Hitman has a 75 rating and Absolution has 79.
What?
Because Absolution was a full game. It was a crap game, but it was actually a full game, and that actually means something.
Suddenly I feel like Stalin's gulags were more reasonable.
See, if it was... people think that Hitman is sort of... It's an easy game to sort of break up, but the actual bits in between the missions where it actually ranks you, and especially in Blood Money where they're piecing you together and you get those newspapers that are randomly generated that actually could start putting pictures of you, and then that becomes more suspicion later on. I don't feel like any of that's going to be a thing because it's been released episodically.
Well, yeah, it's just... I hate it. I really don't like it. That's all I have to say, really.
The new Hitman is, I find, a bit crap, but I got a video coming out.
I think this is the problem I have as well. I can't, like... I've kind of started reviewing stuff, sort of.
You have.
I realised that the actual effort of editing one is very time consuming. Because I think with Just Cause, I started doing the Just Cause 3 review, but I'd recorded all of my Just Cause 3, played all of it, all 30 hours. I had recorded, so it was like I was talking about blowing up a bridge. Then I went, okay, I have to find footage of me blowing up a bridge, and I had 30 hours of footage. I was like, I don't want to do this.
What was the total amount of footage that made up your Fallout 4 review in the end?
It was about 30 hours. But with Fallout 4, it's a lot. Like Just Cause 3, a lot of the footage kind of looks the same because basically every area in Just Cause 3. But in Fallout 4, there's a very distinct visual style. There are a lot of different areas and a lot of different...
True, which is nice. I like it. I like the fact that
it made it a bit easier to edit, and I took notes and I kind of remembered Fallout 4, what I'd done in it a lot more. I remember the progress of each quest. But in Just Cause 3, it sort of blended into a big mess. Either way, with Hitman, you can't review it properly.
Yeah,
it's not like you can't. No, I mean it's I like what's there currently, but I still couldn't recommend it even if I liked it because it's like a fifth of the game. Like what, a fifth of the game?
Yeah, there's gonna be 6 levels in the end, isn't there?
Yeah, I still think there's more fun to be had in the first level of the new Hitman than there is in the entirety of Absolution.
Well, that's true, but the entirety of any section of Absolution is horrific hell on earth.
And the thing is, some of the old Hitmen have not... Well, Hitman... Wait, how would you pluralise the Hitman franchise?
I pluralise
You can't say Hitmen, surely.
It's just the Hitman franchise.
Okay. Hitman some of the older Hitman games have not aged desperately well. They've aged quite poorly.
Yeah, I'd say Contracts and Blood Money... Contracts you can just about get along with. Blood Money you'll quite easily get along with, even though the controls are a bit fiddly.
Silent Assassin has some good levels, but the old style mechanics are infuriating to go back to now.
Yep.
And Codename 47 just isn't very good.
No, it was a good idea they had.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and they needed to test it and optimize it, but doesn't stand out. Anything that was good in 47 made it into Contract.
But you see, here's the thing, because another game has just come out. Another game.
Good seg.
Another game has just come out that actually is an old PS2 classic that has been done up in for the modern generation, and it actually fucking nails it and knocks it out of the park. And it's a
Oh,
game
I think I know
had
what you're about to say.
no hope for whatsoever, and I was like, I don't give a shit. And then I played it today, and I was like, yeah, this is one of the best remakes of all time. It's Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I didn't get code for that.
I got.
I was never into Ratchet and Clank back in the day. It wasn't my thing.
I loved
I
it.
played it.
I loved it so much. But I was playing the new one today, and I remember bits of the old one, but it's like been totally redone. And it's sort of because it's based around the movie's plot, which is like a slightly because the movie's just come out in America, or is about to come out in America, or whatever. So it's
There's a
almost
Ratchet and Clank movie?
yeah, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
it looks amazing.
What?
I'm so hyped to see it. It looks so good. But
Really?
this actually follows the movie, which means that the only downside of this game
Looks
is
good.
that the cutscenes seem to be bits of the movie that they've just sort of spliced together. So it loses a bit there, but the gameplay, the depth, the level design is gorgeous. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen, and it is
I'll have
just
to try it.
stunning.
I mean, we've got spare North American code to me. I'll have to make a North American account. No,
Yeah, it's done so well. It's so beautiful and lovely, and it just does everything right. But what they've done is it's nothing like, as much as it is quite a lot like the original Ratchet and Clanks. They've gone their own sort of way with it, and they've brought stuff that worked from the later games. They come up with a few new ideas, and they've sort of gone. They went back to the first game and they dissected it, and they went through it, and they wrote off everything that didn't work and put in stuff that did. And it's so far, and I'm a fair bit into it. It is really good. It's a really, really, really solid game. I'm very happy.
The poster has the tagline "Kick some asteroids," so I hate the film already on principle.
I would
it's
like to
got
point
Kick
out that
Some
all the
Asteroid
Ratchet and
on
Clank
it.
games
you
had
can't
smutty
complain about shit
titles.
puns.
They had all of them had slightly smutty titles because it was what was it? It was Up Your Arsenal was one of them. There was Full Frontal something.
That's better than Kick Some Asteroid. That's just.
But this
old.
never came over to the UK. In UK, they got different fucking titles because, of course,
You know,
they did.
on the subject of sort of Ratchet and Clank, just before we finish, I have one more topic listed here, which is sort of related to because it's a PlayStation exclusive. Apparently, the PSN Plus satisfaction rate, according to Reddit poll, mind you, has fallen to 23.1% from 95% in 2012. Apparently, people have become a lot less satisfied with PlayStation Plus. And would you agree?
I haven't actually bothered to download any of the PS Plus games.
Well, I
They're
think
okay.
that's
They're
last
okay.
month, so that's
I think
probably
Games
it.
from Gold gives you better games than PS Plus in general, in my experience.
Well, okay, what's PS Plus given in the past few fucking months?
Hang on, I've looked up. Right, so Ratchet and Clank 1 was just called Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank 2, which was locked and loaded in Europe, and Ratchet and Clank 2 in Japan, was called Ratchet and Clank Going Commando in America. That's the proper title. Third one was Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Ratchet and Clank 3 in Europe. We had Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, which is actually just called Ratchet and Clank 5 in Japan, but we got that title in Europe. We had Quest for Booty, which was a pirate-themed one for the PS3 that wasn't very good because it was episodic and didn't really go anywhere. A Crack in Time, if you're pushing it, and then Into the Nexus, which was awful because it didn't get you supposed to have smutty titles. It's actually just called Nexus in Europe. I don't know what the fuck they did that for. And then there was Full Frontal Assault, Ratchet and Clank Q-Force in Europe. But yeah, so they've always had the slightly thingy. So Up Your Asteroid absolutely fits in with the title.
Okay, I want to ask. Okay, these are the 3 games this month, and I want to ask if you've heard of any of them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yes.
Dead Star.
No.
Is that Dead Space but misspelt?
No.
No.
No, okay, no then.
Shimmy.
No.
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 Is Dead
I
Star
Am
about how
Alive.
many celebrities have died this year? It's just
Probably.
It's just the adventures of Alan Rickman and David Bowie.
Probably.
I'd
I'm
play the
Alive.
hell out of that game.
I'm Alive. I know I'm Alive. It was a game that Ubisoft
Yep.
announced at E3 about 6 billion years ago. Were hyped up like this is like going to be it was basically sort of Last of Us. It kind of looked like it was like a survival after an unknown disaster thing. It looked fucking incredible, and then it went silent for about 5 years, and they released a shitty download exclusive platform
On
puzzle
PS3.
thing that's just grey on the PS3. Yeah,
Yeah. Savage Moon.
never heard of it.
No.
A Virus Named Tom.
I like that game. That's a good game.
Never heard of it.
And Shuts Shimmy again on the PS Vita. And also, one I skipped because I think we'll all know this one. Zombie. Also known as Zombie U.
Oh yes,
That's kind of worth it. That's not
free
bad.
on the PS4. That's free on the PS4 this month. So
I've actually been meaning to download that because I'd like to make a video because it's actually quite an interesting idea.
And last month, free games for last month. Broforce.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's
good.
an immediate thing. But the problem is we've got all these games, right? If it's something quite recent
Exactly.
like that, it tends to be ham
Galact 3. I'm going to ignore the PS3 ones because... Flame Over was on the PS
I like
Vita.
Flame
You got
Over.
that.
That's a good little
Flame Over is a good game.
roguelite.
Num Num Galaxy in February.
Num Num
heard
Galaxy
of that.
is the... That's not... Is that... Which one's the one that's made by the guys who made Pixel Junk stuff? That's probably Pixel Junk something, then.
No Galaxy is the star whatever it is, Starbound ripoff, isn't it? The kind of the soup on planets and Starbound.
I thought the
Literally
Soup on
no
Planet Starbound was the Pixel Junk one.
No,
Fuck,
this
might
says
be.
Num Num Galaxy.
It
build
might
an
be that,
extraterrestrial
then.
soup shop.
Yeah, soup shops.
Yeah, Num Num
and
Galaxy.
then-
Yeah, Num Num Galaxy is the one. It's the latest Pixel Junk game,
Yeah.
which is Q
December
games.
you got Gauntlet Slayer, King's Quest Chapter 1. Never heard of either. Although you did get Blood Dragon if you had a PS3, and you got SSX, the remake.
That wasn't very
the
good at all.
PS3. It wasn't very good, but they're not bad. Walking Dead Season 2 you got on PS4 for November, which wasn't very
It's
good.
alright.
but-
So basically,
Yes,
these are a
alright.
whole bunch of alright games that I've already got.
Yeah, this is the problem. They're games which most people probably would have already bought because they're not terribly expensive games, and if you were interested in them, you probably would have bought them for £10.
If you were an exclusively console gamer who thus did not have access to a magnificent, huge,
Yeah.
bulging Steam library, they might be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, Grow Home was free
Grow
in
Home.
September.
Tick. Big
I mean,
tick.
wasn't it a free inclusion on the PSN what kind of kicked off the Rocket League craze way back in the day?
Yes, it was, because it also had cross-platform multiplayer, because you could play with PC players. So even if the PS4 player base wasn't huge, even though the PC player base wasn't huge, they had access to all PS4 players to get
So
matched.
that kind of kicked off Rocket League a bit, which
And
was
it
really did.
Didn't work for Hardware Rivals.
No, it did not. And its game is
Hardware Rivals was just sort of a vehicle shooter that was sort of going for the same sort of thing, trying to be simple and stuff, which was it's kind of a bit dull and stuff. They've done it twice with the beta and with the full game now, and neither time has really picked up a bit of a fan base.
It's just kind of dull, really.
Yeah, doesn't do anything for
It's
me.
not bad.
We've got some good games on there between Rocket League and Grow Home and
yeah,
stuff.
they're
There's
good.
some stuff right there.
Hardware Rivals is a sad blowjob. Grow Home's kind of an alright, a decent blowjob, and
Did you
then
say-
sort of Flame
whoa,
Over.
whoa,
Grow Home is an above average blowjob.
Grow Home
said
is a
it was a good
blowjob from
blowjob.
the queen of blowjobs herself,
I said it was a good blowjob. I didn't say it was
with
a bad
free
blowjob.
chocolate afterwards.
It's just
Free
a
chocolate.
blowjob that keeps growing.
Yeah, that got weird, John. You made that weird.
You didn't make that weird. I mean, it was kind of already weird, but you made it weirder. John, why did Obsidian fucking tweet you a Dean Ambrose gif?
Because I asked them if they'd make something with the Fallout 4 engine, and they replied no.
But why a Dean Ambrose? Why a Dean Ambrose gif?
I
Are
don't
Obsidian
know.
Wrestling
I'm not
fans?
sure why that particular. I was kind of surprised to get a confirmation, but now I'm sad because I want them to make.
Doesn't Twitter
Fallout
have
New
now a
Vegas
GIF
2.
feature? Was it just one of the default no GIFs?
They probably
Possibly.
searched no, and it was Dean Ambrose saying no.
It's very sad. I want
I don't-
want fucking Obsidian to make a new Fallout game.
I don't think they were necessarily saying no to the whole idea.
Hang on,
but no to
was
that
it just
specific
the
thing
word
they
no?
suggested. The gif was just Dean Ambrose saying no.
Well,
yes.
don't they abbreviate New Vegas to NV? Maybe it's an abbreviation. Maybe it's New Orleans.
New Orleans is supposedly what's coming up.
Fallout New
That was
Orleans.
always
Confirmed on the podcast.
No, I want to point.
Quickly, confirm it! Confirm it on Twitter! Fallout
point-
New Orleans be made by
Okay.
Obsidian. Confirmed!
No, actually, no, wait,
Confirmed!
wait,
Happening! 2018
wait,
fall!
wait,
Coming up!
wait.
John, tweet it. John, tweet it.
It's nope, not no. It's nope, not no.
Oh.
Fallout New Orleans Pacific Equator?
Yes.
I mean, the problem is, right, you asked about that, someone replied about something, saying something New Orleans confirmed, and they said nope, which doesn't mean they're not doing anything, it just means they're saying nope to that specific suggestion.
Oh, good. That means Fallout New Seattle confirmed.
Oh.
Confirmed.
Tweet it,
Confirmed.
John.
Someone
tweet
did,
it.
someone did say that in the comments, and they also replied with a gif of Tony Stark shaking his head.
Fuckers.
I wish that was a joke.
Go
I
through every single city in America until they confirm something. Unless it's Toronto, because people have been wanting Toronto for a while. Because Toronto is mentioned in The Pit. Asher mentions Ronto as a post-apocalyptic society.
Ooh.
Well, I'll be.
So we know there is a Ronto up in Canada that we'd like to know something about. So
Whoever's fucking doing the fucking community management for the Obsidian Twitter just really fucking likes the GIF search feature.
Oh my god, guys. Nope. New Orleans, PlayStation exclusive. Confirmed, John! Do it, John!
Oh god, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if we were right?
Oh,
We're not, but...
We could be.
I don't want to be right, though.
And on that bombshell...
That's not being
It's
right.
time to end.
Did we talk about everything on our list? Go through your list very quickly.
I've completed my list. I've covered the whole list. I kind of want... Maybe I'd like to mention, just having seen it EGX Res, just what a ridiculous load of arse Carmageddon max damage is. You've no idea how much arse Carmageddon max damage is.
Looking forward to it.
Also, Subnautica on Xbox One. Do not buy under any circumstances. Ridiculously failure at frame rates.
Okay. Oh, and the same thing. Don't buy what was it? The Hyrule Warriors for the regular 3DS because that doesn't work.
Oh god.
This is our PSA at the end. Just here's a bunch of games to do not buy under any
We
circumstances.
should have just a rapid news rundown for the bits that were tiny. Like Titanfall 2 got a teaser. Good.
Here's some shit.
No Man's Sky has some gameplay. Now we kind of know what it's about, but we'll talk about that another day.
I want to point about Titanfall 2 quickly. I got an email from EA, which I mean immediately is concerning.
Run it through your virus checker before you open it.
There was an email inviting me to something called
which is a
how
weird
do they spell that? How do they spell this? Damn it, we came up with the same joke.
I thought he was being truthful.
Something called EA Play, which is a press conference and hands-on in London.
Oh.
Don't know what they do.
Early access play. All their games are going to get an early access.
I think it's for Titanfall 2 and Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's like a press event for that or something.
Oh, you should go
Actually,
and then make me
about
feel
Mirror's Edge Catalyst, that has multiplayer, which has, I quote, social play elements. No idea what the hell that means,
Mirror's
but
Edge-
okay.
That's probably just fucking leaderboards.
probably like Dark Souls shit, where it's like you
Yeah.
can drop into other
Social
people's
play
games.
elements will be in Mirror Edge Catalyst as a multiplayer thing, but who knows what that
And
means.
who
No,
gives a fuck?
Do any other things on the list?
Final Fantasy
I have one
15's
thing.
got a good demo, and I'm quite excited for it.
I think everyone knows that. Damn
And
fuck.
Ratchet and Clank still really good since I last checked. Also, I could go and back Dark Souls for 20 hours, but I think we're done here.
Should we make a Dark Souls podcast?
No, because we'd have to put like Bark Souls. Also, Bark Souls. Why didn't I call it that in the video? Oh god damn it.
Okay. The one thing I have on my list is just
shit.
Mitomo.
Is this
with
a
the
really
question
good
mark
thing
after
to end with? Is this a really dramatic thing to end with?
No, it's shit.
Could you make it more
Nintendo
dramatic? Can
made
you...
a microtransactions-laden mobile phone game, which ties neatly into the start of our episode, and we just fucking loop.
Okay, you know what's funny?
But Matt,
Right,
does it set mobile phones on fire? Are people in danger right now?
No. Here's the
I
most
think
interesting
they
thing
are,
to me.
John. I think there's.
I think they are too.
No,
we should desperately try uninstalling this before we all die, because children could die.
Children
most
will
interesting thing
die,
to me-
John.
They
from
will
Nintendo.
die.
App.
Nintendo.
Should we
I
quickly
grabbed
turn to the
app.
deathometer to check how many people are currently dead
God.
because of Miimoto?
No. Look, I downloaded the app, right? I tried it out. What's most interesting to me about it is how long it takes to load.
Uh-huh.
Because it's a mobile game, and inherently mobile phones use
Quadrillion core processors
SD.
at this point.
they're very fast phones inherently. That's one of their main things. They load things very fast, and that's the retire point. Miimoto takes a good minute to load. I'm not exaggerating either. Like a good minute, which I'd expect out of a PC simulator on a slow hard drive. No, it's very strange, and it's bizarrely intensive on the phone's hardware as well. Like for a game just showing a me.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
but it's because it's got to send out the brainwaves to make you buy microtransactions. That costs a lot of energy.
The microtransactions are just money for clothes. It's not too bad. And you get a lot of free. Like you can buy one whole outfit for free, which is basically I think most people would need.
One
You
whole
see,
outfit
I
for free.
can't throw stones at anyone who does this, because when the Nintendo Pokemon phone thing comes out, I'm going to spend money on that because I just want to experience it.
No, I mean, I don't think these microtransactions are fine. I think they're fine microtransactions. They are cosmetic and they are optional, and they give you enough to just customize your character initially. And if you just want other things, you have to pay for them.
I hate all of them.
I've got the video planned for the Pokemon phone thing already. I know exactly what it's going to be, so I'm only going to do it for like one day. But I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to spend some money on it. That one day, then never again.
Never
again.
A master for one day.
Pokemon.
Don't catch them
Anyway.
all. It'll cost a lot of money.
So you want to
Pokemon.
be a master
Pokemon.
Pokemon? Do you have the skills to be number one?
Do you have the
Carl,
microtransaction money to be number one?
You know what? It's gonna be exactly like fucking
It's gonna be exactly like fucking. I'm in. Dear God.
I want to fuck a Grumpig.
Oh my.
Oh my
Right
God,
in
you know
its
what?
psychic arse.
You know what?
Hog
Right, I'm
coffee.
gonna add that as
Are we just
I'm
doing
gonna add
a
that as DLC
reboot
to Hog
of
Coffee.
this stream?
No, hog coughing.
Oh my God. That's just why.
We all live in a microtransaction
Thank you.
Microtransaction
Thank
gonna
you very much
be
for
the
coming.
richest bastard
right.
of them all. The richest
Thanks, John.
bastard.
2
We all
weeks.
live in a
Back in 2 weeks,
microtransaction
John,
world.
please say
Yes.
goodbye. John, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
There we go. We're done now. Fuck you.